Hi, Rolf! Yes, I forgot! I forgot that we went on to a time change until just now. I was like, oh shoot, we had a time change, didn't we? And I had no idea. My schedule's already messed up, so a little time change didn't really change much, I guess, for me. So I'm like, oh no! I forgot! I was thinking it was a little weird when you said, oh, so 2 hours from now earlier. I thought, oh, maybe Rolf is like just misremembering the time or something. And then, yeah. Heck yeah. Positives to everything. The little miracles. But oh my god. That's just amazing to me. Like, I was just sitting here like, wait, the time changed, didn't it? And so now Rolf is not gonna be here. Biggest abuse. Yeah, how are you doing, Rolf? I love you very much. How's it going? I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I am... You know, I could be better, but I'm okay. I ended up hurting my ankle while I was walking the neighbor's dog. Basically, in my neighbor's house, in her garage, the garage has like 2 steps when you step out of the door that leads to the garage. And I slipped on the second step. And I think I sprained my ankle. But I'm planning to visit the doctor tomorrow to see, like, what they say about it and what to do with that. So... It's also why I'm sitting the way I am right now, is because I literally have my foot, like, propped up on a pillow right now. Because my bed is literally, like, right there, off camera. So, honestly, we're considering maybe moving my bed horizontally, because, like, right now I have to put my foot over, like, the board at the end of the bed. Which is kind of annoying. So we're thinking about maybe moving my bed, like, horizontally, so just, like, the bed is right there. Yeah. I'm just dealing with that at the moment. So yeah, tomorrow at like 3:30 p.m. I'm going in to the doctor to see what they say. And of course I'm still working because I work from home anyway. And my work is online, so I can just sit around and do it, but and it's not like too bad. Like, it doesn't hurt like super bad, at least compared to other things, but still not the best. Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is that, like, I like to walk around and listen to music. I usually do it like once per day, at least, where I'll just listen to music and walk in circles. I mean, of course it gives exercise, but I just love kind of the trance state that I get into when I do that. And I can't do that because I can't walk. I mean, I can walk, but it hurts, and I probably shouldn't just be walking on it willy-nilly for now. But yeah, so I'm dealing with that. Yeah, I did put a pillow on the board. Like, that's how it is right now. I don't know if I can flip the screen. I'm alright on average. Mood and energy swinging up and down a lot day by day. Yeah, I feel that. I've been getting a very similar thing. Yeah. Yeah, sprained ankles can take a while to heal. Like, sometimes if it's bad enough, it can take, like, months to... I'm, like, big beef. And I just sprained it a couple days ago, so I have a long time to go. Let me see if I can turn the screen so I can show this. I don't know if I can. You can kind of see it. There's my bed and here's my leg. And there's the pillow right there. Oh my gosh. Almost spilled my drink. That would have not been good. Yeah, so that happened. But yeah. Sprained ankles are no joke. And here is the thing. I've actually never hurt my foot up until this point. I've fallen a lot in my life. In many different ways. But I've never broken any bones. And I've never, like, sprained something either. Like, I've managed to avoid that all my life up until this point. I'm just like, how dumb is it that the one time, like, I've climbed up mountains, I've done all sorts of different stuff, and the one time I sprained my ankle is not when I'm doing any of those things, but when I'm trying to walk a dog, and I slip on a step. Joints getting weak with age? Maybe. Probably. I mean, I think it's also just the fact that, like, that step was really bad. There's that, too. And also, the shoes that I had on at the time weren't very stable shoes. I feel like if maybe I wore, like, my boots or something, I wouldn't have sprained my ankle. Yeah, bad luck that day. Gangsy. But yeah, so now I'm just dealing with it. And of course, what really sucks is the fact that, yeah, shoes do matter. The thing that really sucks, though, is, like, I've said this before, but I don't have insurance. And in America, that means that it's very difficult to get medical treatment. So I'm having to worry a lot about that too. Like I had to debate whether I was gonna go to the doctor or not. It took me like multiple days to decide I'm going to the doctor because I was like, should I not? Like the fact that I even have to debate this is like so sad. But I decided in the end to go for it anyway. But yeah, hopefully it won't be too expensive. But I do know I need to get it checked because I like multiple people I know have had like sprains, and when you don't get it checked and properly healed, then you can have like permanent problems because it may not grow back right. But we'll see. Yeah, it really should. Like, it's so sad that it isn't. Like, it's just so sad that you can't even get general care in America. And it, like, you need insurance even for just for gen medicine. Oh yeah, y'all were doing this. Yep. Yeah, Azure, hello. Hi, I love you so much, Azure. How's it going? I love ya. Hello. And yeah, we were doing this. So last week I didn't play any Hakuoki, Azure, when you were gone. Last week, all I did... No, get back in here, Azure. I love you. Yeah, the only thing I did, last Monday stream was I played Pokemon. I just played Arceus. Like, that's how I got to... I didn't get to endgame on stream. I think I was like... Or no, I think I got to the final stretch and then I did the final stretch on my own. Is what I remember. What I did do on stream was the entire, like... Oh no, now I remember. I streamed the beginning of me entering the snow biome all the way until getting to the snow temple, and then I stopped there. No, Azure! I love you, though. Yeah, you didn't miss anything. I didn't want to do it without you, Rolf. So I just decided not to play it that week since you couldn't be here. So all I did was I played Pokemon Legends Arceus, and basically Doodle and Adam were there, and they both helped me catch a Lucario and gosh, why can't I never remember Pokemon names? Yeah, she got Terraria. Nah, I just don't remember things. My memory is so garbage. I just don't remember what places or anything it's called. I'm like trying to remember the name, and all I can remember is what I named it. I named it Akira because it's a fox Pokemon. Yeah, Zorua. Zorua, thank you, Azure. Doodle and Adam helped me get those, and I was so happy. When I had my final team, I was like, oh, the squad! The squad! So, my Zoroark is like really behind. It's really behind on levels compared to everything else. Because I had like a bunch of candies and stuff, like a bunch of level ups from beating alpha Pokemon, but I used it all up on my Lucario. To level up my Lucario around the same level as everyone else. And since it took me pretty much, like, it took me all of them to do that. And so there was none left for my Zorua, so I've been having to, like, level it up as I go along. So it's, like, super behind compared to everybody else. It's, like, 50-something while everyone else is, like, 60s, 70s. Yeah. But I'm going through the whole arc with Bolo right now in post game. I just got the first of the lake trials after doing the sea thing and everything else. So probably the next time I open up the game, I'll get the other 2 sea trials, and I'll do the other trials. Maybe try and get some more Pokemon along the way if I bump into them. And then, of course, the final battle that I'm really not looking forward to. I'm really not looking forward to that Bolo battle. I'm really not. I'm gonna be so scared. I'm gonna be so terrified. I can't, because I've heard how difficult it is. I heard that you gotta fight, like, he has a full team of Pokemon. And then you gotta also fight, I'm gonna butcher its name. Giratina? Like, you have to fight that Pokemon. And then you gotta fight it again for a second time. So technically, you gotta fight 8 Pokemon in a row. And I'm like, I don't know about that! And I also heard that his AI is, like, the best AI in the game. Like, he'll actually, like, respond to type matchups and everything. Like, he'll switch out Pokemon and things like that. And he'll do the whole, like, agile, strong duo and things like that. Like, he actually has a good AI. And I'm like, no! It's time for me to do the same thing that I did with Cynthia. He switched out and uses potions. You know, I'll just have to do what I did with Cynthia. Like, do you know how I beat Brilliant Diamond, Asher? I literally beat Brilliant Diamond. I beat Cynthia just by having a million items. Like, Cynthia would... I legit ended up beating Cynthia because she ran out of moves. Like, she ran out of moves to use on me, and that's how I defeated her, because she literally used up all her moves. Like, that's how I did it, was I kept on just, like, sending out Pokemon. Pokemon gets killed, revive, send out Pokemon. Pokemon gets killed, revive, send out Pokemon. Pokemon gets killed, revive. Like, I just kept doing that until I won. Capitalism strats. Like, that's the only reason I won. Pay to win, yeah. So much. I mean, that's just the way to do it. Am I right? Oh. Level everything to 99. Yeah, that might be the way to go. I mean, so far, I've been over leveled for everything so far, but I doubt for this battle I'm gonna be over leveled. Because I kind of stopped doing a bunch of extra stuff since the end game, so. Because you can literally beat the entire main game of Arceus with just 5 stars. And I had 8 stars. So I was like way ahead of the curve. Yeah, it's just like Cynthia in the remake, heck yeah. I'm disgusted in you, Kappa. But yeah, it is the capitalism strats. Oh boy. But yeah, I'm definitely not looking forward to it. But yeah, a lot of people were talking about, like, oh, we don't really have a chance to heal after fighting those, like, 6 Pokemon. But can't you, even if you're, like, if you're in a freeform boss battle, can't you, or is it not gonna be one of those where you gotta throw the things at it? Because I know if it's one of those, you can just like pause the game and heal your Pokemon and then get back into it. Because that's what I do during a lot of those battles. Just like, oh wait, hold up 1 second, let me just heal my Pokemon to max and we keep going. Oh, so it's still like a regular Pokemon battle. I see. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. That sucks. I'm gonna need like 1,000,000 revives. I'm gonna need like 500,000 of them. Like eating 15 cheese wheels made combat in Skyrim. Let's go. But yeah, the problem with Pokemon is you can't really do that. Like, since you can only use 1 item per turn, like, you better use it wisely, you know? Like, you can't just heal everybody up in one go. You gotta, you know, decide, okay, I'm healing this Pokemon. But yeah, we'll see if I can do it or not. What I'm planning on doing is I'll probably just go through everything, and then right before I get to Volo, I'm gonna save the game, see if I can beat him. If not, then I'll just like go around catching other Pokemon, and then come back and see if I can beat him. So, I don't know. It'll probably be a long time though before I actually beat Arceus, because Fruit Factory 5 is coming out on the 22nd, so not too long from now, just like a couple like days from now, and I'll definitely be playing that. I gotta play that. You probably can't because you smell and have good luck in games. Heck yeah. Thank you, Azure. Thank you. I do. Like, that's the only reason I can beat games. Is from sheer luck and determination. It's the only reason I can beat any game ever. Is that I am very persistent and I have good luck. That's it. That's how I beat it. Otherwise, I would never win a single video game in my life. As Zach said, I play video games as if I'm like an 80-year-old grandma who has never played a video game in her life. But I've played so many video games, so it makes absolutely no sense that I don't know how to play video games. Use the power of friendship. Exactly. My Tomodachi's are my Pokemon. Love them all to death. I have to say, I'm still salty. Wait, Rolf, are you planning on playing Arceus or no? So it was about to spoil. I mean, I guess I've been spoiling anyway. But this is like plot spoiler, is what I was about to say. Nah, okay, so, I'm still mad that the entire, like, after everything I had done for everybody, everyone's just like, sorry, we can't help you during the end game. Like, that still makes me so upset. I'm still very bitter about it. I mean, the one thing is, like, people did try and help at least, which is like, I guess okay. But at the same time, I'm just like, wow, after everything, biggest of beefs. Like, I understand why Kamado did it. Like, they explained that, oh yeah, he's very paranoid because of what happened to him in the past. And I understand that trauma makes you do, like, crazy stuff. We all have, like, our own traumas, and they impact our decision-making. And so, it's understandable, and it was tough situation, but I still think, and like he does apologize, and that's good, but it's still like, I don't know. I feel like the game should have let the characters show off more, like, being upset. Like, it already did, more so than most Pokemon games, but... Yeah! Like, honestly, that Pokemon, some of the Pokemon games have that where, like, at the end, like, all the other, like, gym leaders, like, show up and are like, "Ayo, time to help out in the battle," and it's always cool, every single time. But, yeah, it's just, you know, it's really bad when the main person who helps you is actually the main villain of the game. Like, it's real big, sad moments. I know, me too, Rolf. Me too. Like, for me, that's a way more powerful to me than, like, because there's, like, a lot of RPGs that try and be, like, edgy by, you know, having everybody, like, turn on you at one point in the story or whatever. But to me, it's a lot more powerful to, like, you know, to befriend everybody and for them to all back you up at the end of the story, right? Yeah, that was so good. That was so good. Azure, that was the best. I love that so much. That's such a good part. But yeah, I still need to play Black and White 2. That needs to happen. Yeah, dude, just be a Pokemon with his bare hands. Yeah, let's go. But yeah, I do plan on playing Black and White 2. I even still have Black 2 on my computer. Like, I have it here. I just need to play it at some point. Like, I started playing it and then I stopped. But I think I might restart and try again and play through it. I'll be excited for that. How long until somebody just shows up with a gun and shoots the enemy trainers? Heck yeah. I mean, people have been mentioning it for years. During the playthrough of Arceus that I watched with both Lulu and Azure, that Alpharad did, like, when Volo, like, appeared at one point and was, like, teaching the player about the secret backstrike technique on, like, catching Pokemon, Alpharad, like, was watching the scene and Volo was like, "I'm gonna teach you the secret technique of," and then Alpharad's, like, gunning them down. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing, Rolf. Technically that exists, but it's the PETA games. And those games are disgusting. They're terrible. But, I mean, it would be cool to have maybe like a bit of a darker entry. Though I guess Black and White kind of was that. It was kind of that darker entry in and of itself. I don't know. It's like it has to walk a fine line, because I think if it gets a little too dark, then it's like too much, if you know what I mean. Like, part of the thing about Pokemon is, you know, how lighthearted it is. So I think if it gets, like, too far into the dark, then it's, like, too much. If that makes sense. But I see what you're saying. But, I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, yeah. But yeah, I definitely love it when, like, everybody joins together to help the hero at the end, because it's like, you really feel like your choices meant something, you know? Like, the fact that you chose to help all these people, like, meant something, right? Like, it just, you know, I feel like it gives a good message of like when you help people, like you connect with others, and in the end, like befriending people is a lot better than like alienating them. Making a game based on the manga, yeah, that would be good. I would definitely be for that. But yeah. Yeah, I'm just still gonna be forever sad that it's like in Arceus, the one person who stands beside you when everybody else turns their back on you is the main villain of the story. Like, okay. But yeah. Like, the thing is, even... And I find it so interesting that he does do that. Because, yes, it's true that he's, like, manipulating the main player because, like, he wants to meet Arceus or whatever. But he didn't have to, like, vouch for them. He didn't have to, like, bring him to, Kogita or whatever. He didn't have to do that. So I still think there was some, like, goodwill there. Maybe, like, a feeling of, like, understanding. Because he did talk about how, like, he grew up feeling pretty alienated from everybody else. So maybe, like, he related. Decided to help out a bit because of that. Well, we'll never know. We'll never know. But I will say, I was, like, in a bad mood when I was playing that part, so I was like crying a bit. And then when he showed up, I was like, oh my god. Finally somebody. By the way, you're a bit quieter than normal because you're further away from the mic. I don't know if I would want to quiet down the other audio. Well, I can try and do this. So hopefully that'll be quiet enough. Let me know how it is. 'Cause I don't want to make myself too loud. Honestly, Anya, it would be better if you weren't hurt out. But yeah. There's like a bunch of stories like that though. Like a bunch of RPGs that do that thing where it's like you're doing all these side quests, helping people out, and then one bad thing happens and everybody just turns against you like at the top of the hat, and it's like, wow. Rolf just likes having permanent ear damage from Anya's loudness. Dang, see. Tinnitus or whatever it's called. Yeah. Not good. Even, like, I was talking about that game Avalon Code on the DS. That game has the same thing where, like, at chapter 5, everybody, like, turns on you because they think you did something because of this that you have or whatever. Or that you had because then it was, like, stolen by this other guy. And it's like, So, in Avalon, unlike in Pokemon, like, you're kind of forced to just be like, yeah, it's okay. What you guys did is okay. Whereas in Avalon Code, you can, like, kind of, like, you still are forced to help eventually, but you can be like, hey, that wasn't cool, guys. That was really mean, actually. And I like that. I like that, like, you can at least stand up for yourself a bit. I remember renting one of the Breath of Fire games on the PS1. At the end of it, you become the final boss and have to kill your Party. That reminds me of, there's this game called Lost Dimension. And it's kind of like if Danganronpa was, like, randomized instead of, like, it being a set person, who's, like, the killer or whatever. In Lost Dimension, it, like, changes each playthrough, and you just kind of have to figure it out. And, if you have any traitors still, like, on your team by the end of a playthrough, you have to fight them and defeat them. Which can literally mean, like, if you have only traitors on your team, then you have to fight all the rest of your team. Found out a while back that is apparently the bad ending and there's a good ending too. Yeah, there's some games that do that. There was, like, this other one, I don't remember what it was called, but one of the bad endings literally happens, where, you're, like, blamed for everything and you're, like, kicked out of the village or whatever. And that's, like, an ending that you can get. Game. It's like, wow, what an ending! Thank ya! Never knew there was a way to not kill it. Yeah, but, like, sometimes with some of these games, like, it's not, like, that clear what actions actually have consequences. Because I feel like a lot of times in RPGs, you're kind of just going with the flow. Like, oh, you get a quest to do this, so I'll do that. Or I got a quest to do this, so I'll do that. You never really think too much about, like, what you're doing as much besides, like, the main plot. And I feel like that leads a lot of times to some iffy things. Sometimes, if it, like, matters. In the few games where it matters. Also, it sounds cool, Rolf, but trust me, and I mean, like, I like some of the stuff in Lost Dimension, don't get me wrong, but the execution is not the best. Azure can definitely vouch for that. Though it has one of the best endings of any video game ever, like the true ending for Lost Dimension, which you can only get if you played through it, like, several times. The true ending is so worth it. Like, it's one of the best endings I've ever seen in any video game ever. It's so good. I always kill my friends, heck yeah. What's Breath of Fire 4, apparently? Ah, I see. I don't think I ever played any of the Breath of Fire games. I should probably check it out. Yeah, Rolf, I can definitely see that. That can definitely be a struggle. Yeah. Because then you don't really know what choices you're making. You gotta play Lost Dimension again to get that last trophy. Heck yeah. But Azure, can you agree? The true ending to that game? Best ending to any video game ever. I love that ending so much. Every time I watch it, I'm like, heck yeah. The best. Breath of Fire was a dope RPG series. I definitely want to play it. It's a wild ending, heck yeah. Heck yeah. So true. Like, anytime I think of, like, over-the-top endings, I think of that ending. How just absolutely crazy it is. I'm like, don't talk to me about over-the-top anime endings until you see the true ending to Lost Dimension. Then you will know. You will know the true definition of anime over-the-top endings. Oh my gosh. I remember you, I think you streamed at Azure when you got to that point, and I remember being in the call like, yeah, here we go. I love that. It's so good. My favorite thing ever. But yeah, also the opening to Lost Dimension is a bop. Just the music in that game is really good. And it also has some interesting characters in it. It was just overall, it's a good time on its own. It has its problems, but overall, I think it's a good game. Like, it literally, Rolf, it literally is, like, if you took Danganronpa and, like, a tactical RPG and mix them together. Because you have, like, the segments where you're, like, trying to solve, like, who the traitor is and stuff. And then you have the segments where you're just, like, fighting against enemies and, like, this tactical RPG, like, type thing. Like, fighting bosses. Which also, like, contributes finding out who the murderer is or whatever. Well, not the murderer, but who the and as I said, it's random each playthrough, and there's, like, a story reason for that, too. Yeah, it's a time. Lost to mention is a time. I remember the people who made it, like, were some pretty big peeps too. But now I can't remember.
Hello.
Hello! Hi, Rolf! Welcome, welcome! I love ya. How's it going?
Pretty good.
Heck yeah.
You?
I'm doing okay. I mean, besides
Besides the foot, yeah.
But luckily, going in tomorrow at 3:30, so probably see if anything's actually wrong or anything like that.
Nice, nice. Well, let's hope it's not that bad.
I mean, luckily I can move around and stuff, and it also doesn't feel like that super bad to me. But then again, maybe I just have a high pain tolerance. Who knows?
Maybe, yeah.
Because I found out that I don't know if I can trust, like, my version of pain, because, like, everyone always talks about wisdom teeth, like, surgery being terrible, like, being in pain afterwards and whatnot, and, like, needing to take narcotics and things like that to deal with the pain. I didn't take any narcotics when I had my wisdom teeth removed. I only took Motrin, which is, like, high strength ibuprofen, and I was fine. Like, that was all I needed, and I felt perfectly fine.
Anya the badass.
Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, so that's why I'm just like, hopefully it's okay. But yeah. We'll see. Heck yeah, let's do some drugs. Ayo. Yeah, it's just been, you know, me just chilling, wishing I could walk normally, but kind of just having to lay most of the time. Tomorrow, besides, of course, doctor, I still have to writing, which tomorrow's prompt that I gotta do is 10 best games with a storybook art style.
Okay.
So I'll probably, like, ask tonight to see if anybody has any ideas. I have some. I don't know
exactly what that would mean, storybook art style.
Kind of like Child of Light. You know that game?
No, I don't think so.
It's like a Sleeping Beauty-esque kind of platformer type thing.
Okay.
And that has, like, it starts you off with, like, but basically just anything that kind of looks like something you would read, like, in a children's storybook.
Ah, yeah.
So you have that, you have, The Liar Princess and the Blind Prince, as another good example.
Maybe Ori in the Blind Forest, or is that not storybook enough?
I mean, I would say that's storybook. I think that would probably be an example.
Ooh, Child of Light looks really nice.
Yeah, Child of Light is good. Also, Blind Princess Liar Princess and the Blind Prince is fun.
Alright. interesting.
So I would say stuff like that is probably like what I mean by like storybook aesthetic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love games with like a very unique art style and things like that, which is why I'm doing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It was revealed on Saturday that I was the one who broke Anya's ankle. Yeah, I can't believe Azure did this. Can't believe you've done this to me.
Rude. Very rude.
Yeah, Azure's gone for 1 week and I break my ankle. Nah, it's just bad luck overall.
Well, you had to spend that week getting over to you to break your ankle.
Yeah. On the journey. Yeah, he had to get out of the basement just to take a wrench and strike at my ankle for it, and then go back. Oh my gosh. Anyways, so yeah, Rolf, because I played Pokemon last week, we didn't progress any further in Hakuoki, so you didn't miss any story. But to give you a quick recap on what happened. So, our name is Chizuru Yukimura. We come from like the Tokyo area, basically. Because this is like back in the day when like Kyoto was the main place to be, rather than Tokyo.
Yeah.
And so we come to the big city of Kyoto, because our dad has like we don't know where he's been. So we go there to find him, and he's like a doctor. So we try and meet with our doctor friend to figure out what's going on. But then, as we're walking at night, we saw like some strange samurai that were wearing like the Shinsegumi.
Like blue, right?
Yeah, the blue robes of the Shinsegumi. And they had like white hair. They were all like crazed looking, like they had red eyes, and they tried to kill us. But then the Shinsegumi like members that aren't like that like came and killed them, which saved us. But then, because we saw something we weren't supposed to see, we got basically like kidnapped by the other Shinsegumi members for them to decide what they were gonna do with us. And then we
saved ourselves by saying we're female.
Yeah, we said we're female. Well, we said specifically that we're just looking for somebody. Yeah, that we're the daughter of the doctor, and they figured out, oh my gosh, you're a woman. Some of them had already guessed, while others are like, we're like, what? Like, it was interesting to see.
I've never seen a woman before.
Yeah, I've never seen a woman before. But yeah, like, Okita knew right away. Saito knew right away. Like, multiple of them knew right away. Like, I would say half knew, half didn't. From the get-go.
Strangely, though, the person that, like, untied us didn't realize, but...
Yeah. Yeah, they all found out that we're actually a girl and that we're looking for our father. They're also looking for us, so now we've kind of joined forces to look for the daddy-o, who apparently was working for the Shinsegumi, but something bad seems to have happened, but they won't really tell us what exactly went down.
He was really just a weed dealer, probably.
We'll find out. We'll find out in like a million chapters, because this is a long visual novel.
So Angel isn't here, I think. At least not yet.
Yeah, Angel isn't here. Doodle isn't here. But we can...
was it Doodle doing the...
Yeah, it was Doodle doing the other voices.
Oh, Doodle. Sorry,
yeah. Sorry. Angel wanted to be here, but I don't think she made it. But yeah, Azure's right. He has to supervise me, or I go around breaking my ankles. Yeah, you're my to-do.
Yeah, I actually noted down what roles I was doing so far. So I have the dad, I have Hijikata, I have Okita, I have Nagakura, and I have Sanan.
Heck yeah.
And so for the
Yeah.
ones that Doodle was doing, we'll just have to see. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, I mean, I can do all the other ones, or if Doodle jumps in, like she can take over again. Or if Azure wants to jump in and take some speaking roles.
Also fine.
But, let's see. Let me open up the game. Also, turn off the video, because we don't have that anymore. I almost X'd out of OBS, that would have been terrible. Oh, I forgot. It's full screen. I'm gonna have to pull up the chat on my phone. Oh, and it also means that I gotta take it off the OBS screen as well. I'll be... Oh, and I also gotta make myself, like, super small. Eee, there I go, tiny Anya! And then share the... I like that it's just how Hakuoki wind. Yeah, Tanya, let's go.
Tanya.
Now to pull it up on my phone so I can actually see the chat. Oh. And we saw the opening like 3 times last stream. And I'm using my controller. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
I'm still wondering about the thing, like what this record of service is over here. And also I'm wondering about, like, I'm pretty sure that thing we were looking at last time was supposed to be our like thing that lets us know how well we're doing with like certain people, but I couldn't see any difference. I couldn't tell if there was a difference. We'll just have to see. Yeah, everybody hates us, actually. Okay, let's continue with our latest file.
Alright.
I gotta relearn all the controls again. Okay, there we go.
I keep forgetting that this is so, like, recent, relatively, like the 1800s.
Yeah. Okay, so we have our encyclopedia. Yeah, the warrior record. Like, this I'm pretty sure is supposed to suggest how we're doing with certain peeps. But we did get, like, a little bit with Saito, but it looks the same to me.
Yeah, your guess was that the flowers would fill in the background, right?
Yeah. But we don't really see anything. I'm, like, looking.
Maybe
if
just
anything has changed. But maybe, like...
don't have
maybe
enough
it
progress
just...
yet.
Yeah, maybe it's, like, if you have one, it doesn't change anything.
Maybe it goes in stages or something like that.
Oh, you're right. Like, that would make sense. Like, it's like if you get, like, 5, it, like, builds up a little bit or something like that.
Yeah, when you reach, like, a new relationship level or something like that.
Yeah, so it's probably just, like, too early to actually affect anything. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We just started the game, so we'll find out.
Hi, Helen.
Hi, Helen! Hello! Welcome, welcome welcome to the stream. How's it going? I love you so much. Welcome, welcome. We just started playing Hakuoki. Kyoto wins. I'm pretty excited because, as I said, lots of things I have not seen yet with this game, so definitely pretty excited. Also, weirdly enough, I'm pressing left and right and it's not letting me move on to the next part, and we definitely saw there was more peeps.
It's the shoulder buttons or something?
Yeah, I'm pressing the shoulder buttons. Very strange.
Weird.
Maybe let's do this.
D-pad? Strange, but...
So we can, or no, it just straight up isn't showing the other ones anymore. It showed it earlier. That's very weird. And we'll just keep going. We're not gonna worry about it. It's fine. Who cares?
Yeah, as long as the main game works, it's fine.
Yeah. Yay! I hope you had a good birthday, Helen. You're the bestest bean. I'm glad you're doing well.
Happy birth.
Mid-February 1864. Also, Helen, if you want to join us as we're playing, you absolutely can as well. Just letting you know.
Yeah.
I slid the door open and met a breath of cool morning air. Lumps of thick clouds trundled silently over the city, an unusually strong wind driving them along. It's cold today. I shivered a bit and grabbed a jacket from near the door to wrap around myself. A week had passed since I'd begun living in the headquarters of the Shinsengumi. I was given a room of my own, but they made it clear that I wasn't to roam freely. They weren't the best accommodations, but given how close I was to being murdered by them instead, I thought it best not to complain. Still...
Beats dying.
Yeah, Beats dying. Still, do I really need to dress like this all the time? I sighed, staring at my feet on the cold floor. They'd given me temporary accommodations, but it wasn't without its strict conditions.
Alright. The Shinsengumi will look after you, but we do not allow women to simply wander our doors. The Shinsengumi keeping a woman here. If such rumors were to spread, tongues would begin to wag. Even worse, it may invite guests who are also searching for Kyoto to come here, looking for you. It is still up to speculation, however, whether or not he has been taken or attacked. So many unanswered questions hovering about, all the more reason to keep recklessness at a low. In other words, you need to keep this facade as a man. Do I make myself clear?
Clear. His reasoning was sound. Perhaps more than that, I knew he was concerned not only for the Shinsengumi, but also for the safety of my father and myself. I didn't have a choice, regardless, but keeping this in mind made his orders more palatable.
I don't expect this to be an issue, but having a woman around could disrupt morale, so to speak. For that reason, only we, the Shinsengumi's leadership, will know the truth of your situation. It is imperative for us to keep this under wraps, for there's no telling what becomes of rumors.
I understand the situation, so what should I do while I'm here?
Nothing. You're gonna get a room, and you're gonna stay in it.
Oh, that would, like, drive a person insane.
Yup, get some cabin fever going.
Yeah.
That's more of me. Really? I could have sworn we decided he was going to be someone's page. Soji, keep your tongue in your mouth or I'll cut the fucking thing off. Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, they have a lot of tension. Before long, I'd been there for a week. Guess I don't have much of a choice. No sense in dwelling on what I can't do, after all. Although it was still a new sensation, I'd grown comfortable in dressing like a boy, particularly the feeling of wearing pants. I straightened up and touched the kodachi that Hijikata had given back to me. This was a familiar friend of mine, the blade by my hip stretching back to as far as I can recall. According to my father, this was an important heirloom passed down through the Yukimura clan. As such, I was forced to take lessons in swordplay, making me well aware of what the blade was capable of. I had never cared much for weapons. Weapons hurt people, which is an obvious factor, but it was more than that, at least for me. For as far back as I could remember, any wounds I suffered healed at an incredible rate. Small cuts would disappear overnight. As a child, I thought nothing of it, but as I grew older, I began to realize that I was not quite normal. My father insisted it was a gift of the gods, but that I should tell no one of it. I didn't tell anyone, of course. I was afraid they would treat me like a monster if they knew. Ever since then... Yeah. Ever since then, I'd done my best not to get hurt. I stayed as far away from blades as I could, and before I realized it, I developed a fear of them. My constant need for disguise was frustrating, but my condition left me more unsettled. Still, that wasn't the only thing on my mind, and you're right, Helen, he did.
He said the fuck word.
Yeah. Rank and file soldiers treat me coldly. I'm not just imagining it, right? I learned having a private room was a privilege, even for captains. For a child to arrive and receive better treatment than their own captains. No surprise, really, for the soldiers to hate me. True. I suppose I can't really blame them. I was enjoying the Shinsegumi's hospitality, and so I felt I should help them in some way, but I knew nothing of soldiers and their ways. I gave as much effort as possible, despite Hijikata's commands for me to remain in my room. How does one calm the lonely, restless mind? I think for the soldiers, whenever the captains or other officers would look out for me, it appeared as if they were giving me special treatment. They're just watching me. Make sure I kept my mouth shut. They took turns keeping watch over me. A mistake on my part would cause huge trouble, so they were making an effort to keep me contained. Even if I could speak with the soldiers, what conversations could we share? Nothing? My only respite from any possibility of detection would be to stay alone. Again. All I wanted from this, though, was to find my father. Though they promised to help me, keep locked here without the ability to do better than being tied up. Just when it felt like I'd made some progress into my journey, my search was kept to a halt. Perhaps I thought I could talk to Hijikata, if he would give me permission to look for my father. Oh no, that's right. Hijikata just recently departed to Osaka. Well, if Hijikata's not here, I wasn't sure what to do. So we can stay put, talk to someone, or search the compound.
Talk to someone maybe?
Joke. Wait, first, if?
Always
This is a choice.
Yeah.
Talk to someone. Perhaps there would be someone in the inner courtyard to whom I could speak, I thought. I didn't want to be spotted by the soldiers, so I hid for a moment and scanned the area. Oh, good. Things were looking up. The only people in the courtyard were Okita and Saito. Good morning, Okita! Good morning, Saito! He showed no sign of surprise to my approach and turned lazily to greet me.
Morning, Chizuru. Thinking hard on something, are we?
How did you guess? You didn't have to. You just told us. At any rate, if you have something to say, then out with it. Well, I didn't want to impose or complain, but they had asked. I was hoping I could look for my father soon. That's not possible. We don't have enough men to spare to keep an eye on you. Hadn't exactly left me any room for argument. Is there really nothing you can do? It's not like I want to go very far. Just walking around the city is enough.
Well, I suppose we might be able to let you tag along when we go on our rounds.
Rounds? Must have worn a confused expression because Okita's eyes narrowed, and he proceeded to warn me.
This isn't just a stroll. While you're with us, you're in danger. If we make mistakes, our men die. If you don't want to get cut open by some angry Ronin, you need to be ready to fight back.
Well, I do know a little of swordsmanship. I should be able to protect myself a little. Currently, though, I was frightened by the rounds. The last thing I wanted was to see another person die. I'd seen enough of that to last a lifetime. I had to remind myself that fear couldn't rule me. No matter what, I had to find my father. Kyoto may be a dangerous place, but being paralyzed by fear would prevent me from ever finding him. In that case, allow me to test you. Let me see if that blade of yours is merely for show. What? I will hold back, but you cannot. Come at me with your most powerful strike. But... Something wrong, Yukimura? Draw your blade, unless... No, of course it's not. And I have taken lessons, I'm not lying, but I can't attack you. If my hand were to slip and I cut or stab you, not only would you be injured, but you could die. Excuse me, you don't have to laugh.
Oh, that you could kill Saito? That's not funny? Oh man, this is too good.
Of course I hadn't thought I could beat one of the captains of the Shinsegumi, but still, there's still a chance of someone getting hurt. If it's to help someone or to protect myself, I wouldn't think twice to draw my Kodachi. But right now...
Yeah, let's see what we can do. Show
Yeah.
I'm curious too, actually.
Let's do it, then.
Yeah.
So, this is to test my skills, right? Oh! I think that means we got it with Soji that time.
Seems like you're fast at understanding. Prove you can use your sword, and we may consider taking you with us on our rounds.
You are so concerned for my safety, then use your scabbard, or the back of your blade. I looked down at my sword. Even with the scabbard or the back of the blade, a misplaced strike could break bone. However, this was an opportunity I waited for. I don't want to miss this chance. I straightened up and looked straight into Saito's cold, calm eyes. Let's go! Let's go!
Let's go!
Same brain. I settled into a fighting position. Saito cocked his head slightly to one side and let out a small noise I took to be a laugh. Sand stayed defensive, no sign of fear, despite the fact that I was clearly ready to attack. Did he intend to leave his sword sheathed? I stopped the thought as it entered my mind. His words were to be trusted. Here I come! Ah! As I stepped forward, I let out a yell and lunged.
Just cut his head off.
Yeah, we just cut his head off like, oh shoot, he's dead now. The backside of my blade collided with the shoulder of a defenseless Saito, or so I thought. Huh?
Uh-oh.
In the blink of an eye, his face was only inches from mine, and I could feel the cold steel of his blade.
There goes our head.
Yep. This was the skill of a Shinsegumi captain. My body froze, and the sweat dripped down my neck. Your master should be proud. Your blade was not clouded. Into the heart of one's swordsmanship, blessed with a good... He turned without another word, sheathed his sword, and began to walk away. Goodbye! I then noticed how wildly my heart was beating. What was that?
This is a pretty nice little blade. Looks old though.
Huh? I looked over at Okita to see him holding my Kodachi. I looked down at my hand where I expected the sword to be. It was empty. I'm sorry. Thank you for picking up my sword. He nodded and tossed the sword to me. I reached for it, but there was almost no strength left in my hands, and I nearly dropped it. The blow of Saito's sword on my own had left my hands numb. That strength seemed almost inhuman.
You alright? Gave you a bit of a start, didn't he? Not surprising. Saito's a real AI master.
A martial arts technique where one strikes and finishes their opponent in one smooth motion from the starting position of the sword inside its sheath. Its focus is the quick draw. Yes, I suppose I'm okay, but what's EI? I felt like a bit of a fool asking, but they seem to think it's a perfectly legitimate question. Oh wait, yeah, Saito's me. A technique where one draws the sword from its scabbard and strikes the enemy all at once. See how the blade opens up? Yes? You wear your katana just like my kodachi then? Most common sword wielded by samurai during this period. It was also referred to as the uchi katana, and it was usually worn with the blade facing up. That's right. Older katana were once hung facing blade down, but modern blades are worn at the waist, blade up. Normally, one waits until the blade is drawn, then flips the blade over and faces their opponent. And he could have easily taken my head with that blade. Had we faced an actual battle, I would have been dead sooner than I could prepare myself.
Oh, right, yeah. In the eye, the sword is drawn with one hand. Some think it diminishes the power of your swing.
That's not a problem Saito has. It seems like he could easily finish an opponent with a single blow.
Yep, Hajime's a real blood sport. He'd have finished you off right after he knocked the sword out of your hand.
The only reason I survived that encounter was because Saito had never intended to kill me. Thought that made me shiver. That's the eye, then. And from a true master of the art. It left me speechless, trembling from its power. A feeling of horror began to creep and coil itself around my heart. The outside appearance of the Shinsengumi did not reflect their deadliness. It mesmerized me to witness men who could be gentle, yet killers. Don't berate yourself. You have room to improve, but you have enough that we might take you along. Really? I looked from Saito to Okita. He gave me a smile and brought his hands together in a polite applause.
Well, look at that. Hajime himself gave you a pass. That's pretty amazing, you know.
Then that means you can take me with you?
Well, if the man who told you to stay here proves it, then yeah, you're good to go with us.
Right. I had a feeling he was going to say something similar, so I simply nodded in agreement. You're just gonna have to wait until Hijikata gets back from Osaka. Sorry. Oh, you don't need to apologize, Saito. It's alright. Saito looked at me for a beat, then turned away. I thought perhaps he looked to me with pity. I'll ask the commander for permission to take you on patrol.
So, you think you can wait just a little bit longer? If you want, we'll keep you company.
Really? Okita smirked, and I couldn't tell if he was kidding or meant it. I turned to look up to the sky, watching the white clouds gently drift apart, perhaps a shy omen. At least I had made some progress in my search, I told myself, however little. The wind had pushed the clouds off of Kyoto, and the brilliant blue they'd hidden sparkled above. Time stood still, shadows drifting along my wall. How long am I going to do this? Solitude was proving detrimental to any glimmer of hope. My heart felt heavier with each moment. How lonely the wistful, forlorn mind can become. I'd been swept up in a frightening world I didn't understand and couldn't possibly control. I can't possibly figure out what's happening to Father if I'm stuck here. Only Hijikata can give me permission to leave, and he's gone. All I could do was wait. Lamenting things I couldn't change wouldn't improve my situation and would arguably make it worse. I knew I couldn't trust the men of the Shinsengumi completely. They were, after all, men who could take life in the blink of an eye. It would be just as easy for them to end my life. Well, at least they've all been nice to me, for now. They're nice men deep down, right? I don't know who's talking. Does anyone ever call me Gulp? Oh, wait, nope, that's you.
There you go.
Ah! What are you doing here?
Oh, you didn't notice me? Well, it's my turn to keep watch.
Did you hear everything I said?
You're speaking out loud. What are you, a protagonist?
Yeah.
Hmm.
He heard me. He definitely heard me. I wanted to scream, but before I could open my mouth, Saito stepped out from behind the door. I think that's enough fraternizing, Soji. Wait, were you here the whole time too? I arrived only moments ago. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, I'm sorry for screaming like that. It's nothing yet. At any rate, it's not as if you said anything that would cause trouble for you. Ah! True. I didn't say anything bad, but still. Well, I was just embarrassed to be caught talking to myself. Saito watched me fidgeting and mumbling. His eyes pierced right through me. I came to tell you that dinner is ready, but have I interrupted something? Oh no, nothing at all! I had intended to wait until you and Soji finished your discussion, but I figured if I left the two of you alone, it would be longer before I saw either of you, so I came in. That was right shortly before we caught the sound of footsteps approaching us noisily. Heisuke shot through the door. The moment he saw us, however, his face fell. Hey, guys! Dinner time! My apologies, Heisuke. I'll be there presently. Yeah, you too, Chizuru. Hurry up or it's gonna be gone before you know it. Sorry, Toto. I'll be there as soon as I can. He turned to leave, but he halted in his tracks. Oh my gosh. He pursed his small lips together before speaking. Look, you can drop the whole Toto thing. Just call me Heisuke. Everyone else does. Are you sure? Yeah, why not? We're practically the same age. Oh, and we don't need to use honorifics. Alright, I'll do that then, Heisuke. Great, sounds better already. Shall we go?
So, I think on their text box the names are written in the Western style order, right? Or not?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Heisuke is his first name.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure they're written in Western style order. They're late. Oh yeah, because Haruda was voiced by Doodle.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's me though. I
Yeah.
think, yeah. You kids are late. Who's gonna answer to my crying stomach?
Yeah, it's Western style.
Yeah.
You mean growling Shin. Really, he's so simple sometimes.
You guys ought to apologize to my stomach. He wanted to dig in, but I said, nope, we gotta wait for them.
Such a softie, Shin. Alright guys, it's time to eat, and that means every man for himself.
Man, there's barely enough here to feed a kid, let alone a man. So I'll just have to take yours. Survival of the fittest, this food is mine.
Hey, why do you always steal my food?
It's because of the difference in size, kid. I got a bigger body, that means I need more food.
Well, I'm still growing, old man, so I gotta eat more too. Sorry you had to see this, Chizuru. They're always like this. I've gotten used to it. How are we to deal with accepting such insanity? Oh, why aren't you taking anything?
Yeah, I'm good. If I eat too much, I slow down. Hey, what do you mean slow? Yeah, whatever, I'm taking that. Go for it. So long as I have a little sake to sip, I'm good.
Sounds like I'm going with sake too.
try not to worry about eating too much or being a freeloader or something too soon. Just eat your little heart out, okay?
I know. I can't help but feel a little bad, though. Well, if you let that get to you, you're gonna lose. You have to protect what's yours. Okay! Always eating alone made the experience of dinner with these men both an exhilarating and a frightening evening for me. It was actually fun. See, there's that smile. You ought to do that more often. They aren't gonna hurt ya. Arda. Val curled up into an honest smile of his own. Had I really looked so down? Perhaps they were all trying to cheer me up. I wasn't quite sure how to feel. I was conflicted over whether or not to feel pity for myself or to appreciate the moment for what it was. The joy seemed to be winning out, however, and I caught myself smiling as Inoue entered the room.
Was I playing this guy?
No, I think it was Doodle. Doodle was playing
Oh,
Inoue.
right. Yeah, I think this is when she entered in.
Yeah.
When this guy...
Gentlemen, do you have a moment? As usual, his voice was warm, but in his eyes was a level of solemnity I've never seen before, at least during our brief acquaintance thus far. The warmth of the room slowly evaporated. I just received word from Osaka. Sanan has been gravely injured in battle.
No.
What?
What happened?
The dry goods store in Osaka was invaded by a group of Toshi and Sanan arrived in time to enter the fray and subdue the Ronin. However, Sanan was stabbed during the encounter. Is he going to be alright? According to the letter, he is gravely hurt, but the wound is on his left arm. It will be hard for him to wield a blade. Certainly survive. Oh, thank goodness. I exhaled a brief sigh of relief, but the rest of the room was tense, still itching for answers. He should be returning here in a few days. Now, please, excuse me, I must speak with Kondo. He turned as he spoke, his last words delivered over his shoulder, and was gone. It was Saito who soon broke the awkward silence. An injury so grave he cannot touch his sword. Perhaps the wound severed an artery. Kill a blade with one arm is a disservice. He may never carry a blade again if it's true. Oh.
Just teach him AI style.
Yeah, let's go! At last, I understood. Fighting with a single hand would mean less strength behind his blows. Against an opponent of similar skill, he would almost certainly lose.
If push comes to shove, he'll have to take it. I don't think Sanan is just going to give up. Don't jinx him, Shoji. It's gonna look bad if officers start joining the I was almost gonna say furries. Joining the Furies.
I mean, I'm not sure if it's Furies or Furries. Like...
I mean, it's only one R, so it's Furies.
Yeah, Furies, yeah. Also... Uh-oh.
It would have been funny.
Narukurus slipped up. He slipped up. He mentioned something he shouldn't have.
Yep.
Huh? What's this?
I would just pretend not to hear that.
Yeah, I would just be like... I would say
I don't
nothing.
know what you're talking about.
I would say nothing. I would legit say nothing, and then if anyone asked, I'd be like, huh, what? I was spacing out. I was in shock, you know?
Yeah, I was too shocked about the news.
Yeah, I was thinking about my dad and whether he was okay. Wait, that didn't make any sense. Nah, honestly, if it were me, I would also say, huh. Like, I'm too honest.
Furry?
Yeah, what? Oh, he's a furry? He likes wearing fursuits?
What's his persona?
What's his persona, guys? They would just look at me like, what? What are the Furies? Oh, so Furies come from something you drink where any injuries could be cured. Hey, Skay? Huh? Before I could move, Haruda was on his feet and halfway across the room. I barely had time to gasp before he drove his fist into Heisuke. Heisuke is fucking
One way to
dead.
shut someone up.
He's dead. He's just straight up dead. He's gone. He's evaporated. Oh, look, there's tears in his eyes! He was hit so hard.
Oh man.
Ouch! Heisuke, are you alright?
Sano, you're overreacting. That was my bad, Heisuke. I slipped up first.
You alright? Sorry. After a moment, Haruda curtly nodded to Heisuke in an apology, the latter offering a quick, pained smile. Nah, I should've been watching what I said. Still, Sano, you didn't have to hit me. His punch had enough force to knock out a lesser man, but Heisuke seemed unfazed. It was never clear now how different these men were.
Chizuru, everything you just heard is something you're never to repeat. I'm sure you're curious, but we can't tell you anything else, so don't ask. And forget what you just heard from Heisuke, okay?
His voice was friendly, but his eyes gave his words a cold weight that made me uncomfortable.
The furies that Heisuke spoke about are meant to be pitied. Oh, he's explaining it anyway.
Yeah, these are the creatures from which the Shinsengumi saved the protagonist. Okita takes pity on these poor souls. So we still don't know what they are, but they are the things that attacked us at the start.
Yeah, I've got some ideas. Yeah.
Okita's voice was flat.
Told me that before he talked.
Yeah. A sudden chill of melancholy entered his eyes. I mean, look at this expression.
Yeah. It's different.
Yeah. Couldn't bring myself to say anything more. Thankfully, Nagakura broke the awkward silence.
That's nothing you need to worry yourself about. You don't have to get all worked up. We're gonna have to cut your head off, but you know, that's life.
That's life. I was only a guest in their house, not a worry of the Shinsengumi. The truth of the Shinsegumi's secrets were no business of mine, something unknown. There was little value in that sentiment, however. From your mind, involving yourself in our affairs will only put you in. I bit my lip and kept silent. The wall between us was almost tangible, almost far too large an obstacle for me to defeat easily. I finished my dinner in sad silence, excused myself, and returned to my room. I had a great deal to think about. I wondered to myself if the Furies referred to the Rakshasa pictured in Buddhist texts. Though I wasn't well versed, I recalled reading a text about a man-eating demon god with that name. Yep, exactly, Helen. Exactly. Can't believe it. I have no idea where to start. From drinking the medicine to Captain becoming very... No, I wasn't supposed to think about these things. I was only going to get myself in trouble if I stuck my nose. Seeing or hearing the wrong thing could kill me. I'll have a hard time with my father. Shinsengumi captains were keeping themselves hush around me, especially about the Furies. I mean, you could just look for him as a ghost. Are they doing it to protect me? Even if I dug around, I'm sure nothing good would come of it. With that in mind, I did my best to clear my head of the evening's events and slipped into my futon. Next part, now in March. March 1864. It fast approached a month since I began living within the Shinsengumi headquarters. Hijikata and Sanan finally returned to the compound from their trip to Osaka, but spirits were low. I will say this. I mentioned this before, but literally all the events that happen in this game are pretty close to, like, the actual historical events. that happened, but just with
Apart from
like,
zombie
yeah,
sunrise.
with extra stuff, of course. But most of the history is pretty accurate.
Yeah, that's cool.
Sanen's injury had unforeseen consequences for everyone in the organization. Day-to-day operations became hectic for a little while. His wounds seemed quite dire, and they drained whatever goodness in his nature he'd hoped to keep. Sanen would spend days holed up in his room, protected by a barrier of impenetrable silence. If he were to leave his room, a rare occasion now, he was often short-tempered and quickly retreated.
Keep that in mind.
Yep, even though I too spent days in the exile in my room, he seemed to take it much differently. Sanan seemed trapped within a painful memory, each day bringing him closer to a gloomy twilight. I softly pondered what service I could offer to the Shinsengumi if I were not allowed to search for my father. I'm sure Hijikata is overwhelmed with whatever business he's dealing with, but I need to visit him. I realized with the tension so high that it's better to have Hijikata on my side rather than not. I crept around the hall looking for Hijikata, but he was nowhere to be seen. Would it be impolite to visit his room directly? As I paced around the hall in contemplation, an unknown warrior appeared before me. Oh, this is a new character! I don't know this man! I don't know this man! I've never seen this man! Sure. I've been living in the Yagi residence for a month, but he was unfamiliar to me. Yeah, I have no idea who this man is. This is completely new to me. I'm freaking out. Who is this man? New character alert. My current dilemma compelled me to approach him. Excuse me. Have you seen Hijikata? It says Helen, because Helen also hasn't played the newer versions of the game. Because Helen played the 3DS version, I think it was, and I played the mobile version. And both versions only have, like, I think the original game. And so this game, of course, has a bunch of new content on this version, which is why it was cut in half. Like, you have half the game and then the second half of the game. Because of all the new routes and new scenes and stuff in it. So this is completely new for the both of us. 3DS version, heck yeah. Oh, what? Oh, I like this. I like this CG right here. Man turned to respond, and my eyes widened to scan his enormous frame before he spoke.
And who might you be? Mind telling me what you are doing here?
Oh, I am... Well, it's a long story.
Don't make me repeat myself, answer me.
Oh, snap. I'm... Chizuru Yukimura.
Ah, I recall hearing the commander recruited a young apprentice as his new page. Must be you.
Yes? I wasn't aware they were telling people that I was an apprentice warrior at headquarters. However, my reputation was the last thing on my mind as I faced this man's pressuring gaze. I didn't appreciate the harsh scrutiny he seemed to impose, scanning me from head to toe.
So why don't you start telling me about how you know the chief and commander? I hear you're from Edo. What kind of tricks do you have up your sleeve to slide in here?
Oh, I didn't know such thing!
But judging by how defensive you became, it sounds like I'm right on target.
No, you really are not. You're like, you're so far off topic, but we don't want you to get on topic. That's why we're defensive.
Look, this isn't the place where someone without any worth on the battlefield or in the strategy room can waltz without earning it. I'm going to ask you one more time. How did you get in with the chief and commander?
I'm ready to square up with this guy. I'm ready. Ready. Let me at him. Let me at him. I'm gonna punch him right there. I'm gonna punch him right in his smug face.
Mr. Langshanks.
Oh snap, he's getting close!
Jesus
Oh my god!
I Kanryusai Takeda, I'm asking you a question. What makes you think you can just ignore me?
I hate this man. I hate him. I hate him because
Which means he's gonna be your favorite by the
no,
end.
he's not. He's not because this is you know why I hate him? Just from this line alone, it just reminds me of Leonardo Ricci from Devil Survivor 2. He would always start everything he was talking about by saying that his name is Ronaldo Kuriki. Literally all the time, that's what he would say, to the point where I even guessed it right before he was gonna say it. I was like, he's gonna say, I'm Ronaldo Kuriki. And he said it because he was that egotistical. He thought it was so important that he was Ronaldo Kuriki, and I hated that man with all my heart. It wasn't a, oh, I hate him and then I love him later. It was, I truly despise this man from the bottom of my heart, for real. And so I probably will hate this man too. If he's anything like Ronaldo Kuriki, I will actually want to go in there and punch him right in the face, for reals.
I'll do my best to make him hate.
You grew increasingly agitated, almost like a petulant child, because I refused to answer him. Oh my gosh, Chizuru and I, same brain. He reached his massive hand. Oh, he has yaoi hands, guys. He has yaoi hands.
Yaoi.
Oh god. Also, as Azure said, my name is Ronaldo Kuriki. You have killed my father. Prepared to die. Yaoi hand lad. Let's go. Oh my gosh. He reached his massive hand over towards me as if to grab me, but then a voice stopped him.
Hey, Takeda, what the hell are you doing here?
When he recognized Hijikata's voice, he snapped his hand back to his side.
Well, well, Commander Hijikata. I'm here on business with Chief Kondo.
Oh my gosh, look, he thinks he's so big. He thinks he's so, like, important. Look at him. Look at him. I just want to kick him in his face.
Is that so? I have heard nothing about this. He called on me on special orders to assist him while Colonel Sanan is out of commission. However, it appears Chief Kondo is nowhere to be seen, so I'll be on my way now.
Yeah, he just barged in here. He didn't have any reason to come here. Takeda turned to take his leave, but then he slowed his step, leaving us with a few words. Aw, he has to have the last word, does he? Yep. Oh my god.
Even though he already had it.
Yeah.
As a side note, Commander Hijikata, are the rumors true that you've welcomed this young blood as your page? Yes, but it is none of your concern to know more.
Oh! Get wrecked!
Forgive me, I'll refrain from pressing for details, as it seems to be out of my jurisdiction.
Yes, it is! Yes, it is! You'll just have to deal with it.
I do, however, question your predisposition towards keeping those from your birthplace close to you. It seems I forget myself. Please excuse me.
Oh, I will say, Edo was what, like, was basically what Tokyo was called before it was called Tokyo.
Yeah.
Like, the city of Edo, and then it became Tokyo. Just for those who don't know.
For those fake weebs.
Yeah, for the fake weebs. But yeah, I wanted to say that because earlier, towards the beginning of the stream, when I was giving a summary, I said that Chizuru is from Edo. I said that she was from Tokyo, And then the game
Yeah.
says that she's from Edo, so I wanted to elaborate that Tokyo and Edo are the same. It's just a history difference. Once Takeda exited the hall, I couldn't help but feel a rush of relief. Yeah.
See ya, Helen.
Yeah, see ya.
Good night.
Oh, Helen! See you later! Have a good rest, Helen! Thanks for hanging out. I love you very much, Helen. Have
Hey,
a good
Yukimura.
night.
Don't be walking around the headquarters without permission.
But yeah, when you first said goodnight, Helen, I didn't hear the Helen, so I thought you were saying goodnight to the guy, like, see you later. And I was like, yeah, see you later. And then I look down and I see the chat and I see Helen's leaving, and I'm like, oh. Oh, Helen's going. Bye, Helen, I love you. Helen is the best. Have a good rest. Yes, sir, I didn't mean to cause trouble.
Your presence here is not common knowledge. Only those staying at the Yagi residence know.
The location of the first headquarters for the Shinsegumi.
Be mindful of anyone who visits from the Makeda residence, is that clear?
It was located right beside the Yagi residence. It was the first ever headquarters used by the Shinsegumi. Clear. I promise to be more careful going forward. So, may I ask who that man was?
That man is the captain of the 5th Division. His name is Kanryusai Takeda. His swordsmanship is decent, but he is well read and possesses a cunning mind for military science. He's a tricky one, so be careful.
Okay. I just love how she was just like, okay.
Furthermore, if you have no business being out, then I expect you to stay put in your room.
He should kind of attempt to dismiss me, having said what he felt was appropriate as a stern commander. So we can ask Hijikata if we can help or quietly return to our room.
No, that's why we came here in the first place, right?
So let's
Might as
save.
well. I don't think he's in the mood to say yes, but you know, that's why we walked out to begin with.
Yeah. Might as well.
Might as well show that we offered at least.
Yeah. It's still so weird that I can't move like I could before. Remember, I could check before.
Yeah, definitely.
But now it's like, nah, you want to see the other routes? Well, you can't, buddy.
Very strange.
Very strange indeed. Because, see, it just wraps around. And I'm hitting the left and right triggers and nothing's happening. I'm hitting all the triggers and nothing's happening.
Very strange.
Oh! How did I do that? I hit Y. And I ended up in the second screen. What? Why? Why is it Y?
Maybe it's got a different controller layout or something. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't
Very
know.
strange.
Very weird. Also, wait, no, he's not on the list. He's not one of the dateable guys. Thank God.
Oh, okay.
Thank God that man is not dateable.
I'm just making him as annoying as possible then.
Yeah, thank God. These are our other mans. We haven't seen, like, any of them.
Oh god, so many characters.
Yeah.
I don't think I can come up with that many pretty boy voices.
Biggest abuse. It's fine. I mean, I've been reusing some voices too, so it's fine. But yeah, these are the original paths are the 1, 2, 3, the 5 here, not the last one. Nagakura is a new route too.
Oh, okay.
So it was just Hijikata, Soji, Hajime, Heisuke, Sanosuke, and then it was also this guy at the end here, Chikage Kazuma.
Ah.
Was also
Alright.
the last one as well. But the other guys are new routes. Nagakura was in the original game. Same with Sanan and Yamazaki. They were all in the original game, but they weren't routes. But this game made them routes. And then Hachiro, Kazue, and Ryoma, I have no idea who these men are. I've never seen them in my life. So those are like completely new men. I've never met these men. I don't know who the heck they are.
Fresh new men.
Yeah, fresh new men right off the tree, right off the crop. Oh my gosh. Also, hi Owen, welcome to the stream. How's it going?
Hello.
I love you so much. Anya's upsetty spaghetti, it's so true. Yeah, MC from hit video game series Onimusha. Heck yeah, there he is. There he is. But yeah, anyways. Just to give some extra background, Soji here was my favorite when I was playing through the original, out of all the ones to pick. I guess should be obvious. The favorite of Helen was Haruda here.
Oh.
So that was Helen's favorite, was Saito as second. For me it was Okita first, and then a tie between Heisuke and Kazuma.
Okay.
Who is over there, not highlighted yet. But they're all cool beans. And of course we're just gonna go with whatever we feel like doing.
Yeah.
And we'll see who we end up with. If we end up with anyone, because it's also possible to just be like, lose. Womp womp womp. So yeah, I didn't get many chances to see Hijikata, so I took the opportunity to offer my aid to the house. I actually have a favor to ask of you, Hijikata. Staying in my room for long periods alone makes me feel terribly useless. Would you please give me something to do? I'll do anything. Cleaning, laundry, anything. Hijikata sensed the sincerity of my plea, and it appeared as though he actually considered it.
Do you really find yourself incapable of occupying your time in your room productively?
What do you mean? What would I do? This is not the 21st century where I could just be on my phone the whole time.
It's got like 4.5 tatami mats and
Yeah.
like a futon, that's it.
Yeah, there's not even any books in that room. What am I freaking supposed to do? What do you
Just
want
meditate
me?
all day?
Yeah,
Like...
what? This is not, if this was modern day, like, yeah, you could just be on your computer, play on your Switch or whatever, but not in the 1800s. Bro. A little.
Fine, I shall discuss with Gen, so no further notice. Until further notice, stand by for orders.
Really?
This is under the condition that you have to keep from interacting with outsiders, understand?
Understood. But thank you so much. The next day, Inoue informed me that I was given more freedom within the headquarters, which allowed me to exit my room freely. Let's go!
Hell yeah. Bolster bring it off.
Yeah, we did it. My duties included cleaning, laundry, and cooking. Not the most glamorous of chores, of course. However, it gave me an opportunity to occupy myself as opposed to going stir-crazy in my room. Yay! We did it! Now we're in June!
Chores.
Yeah, we unlocked chores! I will say one of the positives about this is that the story is really long. And so, I will say, there is some margin for error when it comes to going down certain people's routes.
Like you have to hit every single trigger for it.
Yeah, you don't have, it's not one of those games where it's like, if you miss one trigger, that's it. Because I remember in my playthrough, I missed a few, and I was still okay. Like, I still got the best ending. Nice. I would say some of the most important choices happen towards the end of the game. Those are the ones that determine whether you get, like, the good or bad ending. And like that's the time where it's like you better get all the right choices or you'll die. But this beginning segment, there's enough choices I think that you can make some errors and you'll still be okay. But yeah, overall we are just gonna go for the whole just see what happens sort of shindig.
Yeah.
So June 1864, the fourth year of the Bunkyu era became the Ganji Ganen, and the summer sweetly blossomed. Spring shed its blooming skin, giving birth to lush green trees facing the wide open sky. During one of these beautiful summer days, I finished cleaning after everyone ate breakfast, and Saito brought me to the hall to Hijikata. Commander, it's Saito. I brought Yukimura.
Come in.
Saito responded by quietly opening the sliding doors, gesturing me to enter the room. Upon entering, I saw Hijikata, but also Okita, Nagakura, Harada, and Heisuke in the hall. It appeared that only the captains who were aware of my situation were present.
I know you've been waiting for some time, but the time has finally come to let you out.
This sounds like I'm like a dog. It's time to finally let you out to go for a walk.
Been here for like 4 months, by the way, at this point.
Yeah. Really? Look at those caps.
Really?
Really? I could barely contain the excitement in my voice as soon as the words came out of my mouth. So, is it true there was a man in Fushimi that matched my father's profile? Castle town in the southern part of Kyoto.
We're not sure if it's true or not. It was our intention to let you verify for us, considering his daughter would recognize him best.
I nodded in response. For now, any information pertaining to my father was appreciated, so I was thankful. So where is this man who supposedly looks like my father?
Our initial reports outline a place called the Terada Inn in Fushimi. Saito is assigned to check.
An inn located in Fushimi. It is often frequented by warriors of the Satsuma and Tosa domains. Saito was assigned. I wasn't sure if that meant I was to accompany Saito or if I would have to wait longer for him. Then Harada chimed in. This doesn't necessarily mean Kyoto is a guest of this inn.
Yeah, being sighted in Fushimi could just mean he was walking around the city of Kyoto. Exactly. So that's why I'm asking the three of you, Harada, Shinpachi, and Heisuke, to take her along on your rounds to assist her search for Kyoto.
All of us. Usually we split up and go on rounds separately. Hijikata didn't bother entertaining a response, instead looking towards me. Was he suggesting these were the men who were responsible for dealing with me should I attempt to flee? Heisuke must have sensed this as well, so he made no attempt to push the issue any further.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't like the fact you're making us do all the babysitting. I thought you planned on patrolling as well, Hijikata. So, for your own benefit, why don't you show your adorable page the ropes by having her with you? What the hell are you talking about? Aren't you the one who pushed her onto me? I'm not having any of your insolence today. She isn't my page. Maybe, but all the lower-ranking men are starting to believe it. There is, after all, a grain of truth to every lie. So why don't you give her a befitting job?
As Okita and Hijikata bickered at one another, the mood of the room was locked in their tense words until Harada whispered to me. Well, Kyoto, as you've seen, isn't the safest place right now, so don't force yourself to leave. I mean, we all know what Kyoto looks like too, so the risk doesn't have to be yours alone. I could look for my father in Fushimi, or join the patrol rounds assuming he's moved places, or stay here to keep safe from the outside. Or accompany Hijikata as his page. What
So
should
many
I
choices.
do? Yep.
Oh man.
I'm pretty sure this one is kind of important in terms of like who
Yeah.
I mean, all the choices to this point have been kind of important in terms of like getting romance points. Like, basically all choices lead you to certain points because there's so many characters.
Yeah. I
So
think
we
the
can
most
stay
logical thing.
behind. We can accompany Hijikata. We can join them on their rounds, or we can go to Fushimi.
Well, I mean, her whole motivation has been to find her dad, right? So I think going after the more solid lead makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's the last one then, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, because they were saying, like, he either was at Fushimi or he's moved places.
Yeah.
So it's like one of these two.
Yeah, I think it makes sense to just go to the place where he was seen.
Yeah. I agree. Did I save? I can't remember if I saved. But I'm saving again. Because I couldn't remember. But yeah, I feel like this might be new because I don't remember this part either. I'm trying to think what the I mean, my memory is also garbage, so there's that too. But yeah, we're definitely not staying behind because that's dumb.
No.
We're definitely not accompanying Hijikata as his page because that's also dumb. So yeah, it's like only one of these two.
So going to Fushima is with Saito.
Yeah.
The rounds are with the three guys.
Yeah. What do you want to do? Because this is for you. Because I'm fine with anything. I don't really
I still think the last one makes the most sense.
Yeah, so let's go to Fushimi. My father might be at Fushimi, I want to find out. Even if he had already left Fushimi, there was a chance I could find a lead to his next location. I'd already made up my mind. I will go to Terada Inn. Saito, would you mind if I came along with you? Thank you. Wow, I couldn't believe I might see my father! My heart pounded heavily in my chest, and I did my best to keep my composure and bow. Let's go! The air was slightly humid, a thin dampness permeating despite no signs of rain. It's been oh wait, no. Oh my god, wrong voice. It's been a while since you've been outside, huh? How do you feel? It was an even longer while since I've worn straw sandals, so blisters formed around my strap. I'm fine. I was eager to see if my father was nearby, so I ignored any minor distractions or obstacles. I see. It seems Saito could read through my words, and he pretended to ignore my discomfort. We were heading to Fushimi, which is south of Kyoto. Ichikata mentioned my father was staying at the Terada Inn, but how do we know if it's legit? A report comes from a local inspector. Supposedly, a bald doctor practicing Western medicine stayed there, which fits your father. A bald doctor. I grew restless with anticipation from Saito's words, and my heart couldn't contain itself. Could this person really be my father? How many bald men practice this field of study? Let's hurry. You need to rest, tell me. Okay. I had to make sure Saito doesn't see me as a burden, so I tucked my strap and hurried with him. Shortly after, we reached the Terada Inn, located in Fushimi. Is my father really here? The inn itself looked well kept from the outside, and Fushimi stirred in the background. I clenched my throat nervously as I approached the door, but I waited for Saito to instruct me. There appears to be a tea shop on the other side. Let's go in. Wait, we're going through the tea shop? Why didn't he go in immediately to snoop around? I had so many questions, both for him and father. However, Saito seemed very calculated, scanning the area since we arrived, so it felt best to trust in his judgment. He entered the tea shop around the other side, and Saito began scoping the Terada Inn. Saito led me to a seat near the shop's balcony, and he whispered discreetly into my ear. Terada Inn has been noted in reports as a popular destination for the Satsuma. Because of this, I am cautious that there could be Ronin from the west staying here. From the west? What I knew, the Chosu domain was connected to Imperial Ronin from the west as well. The domain governed by Takachika Mori, an opposition daimyo. Most members of this domain were nationalist imperialists during the early part of the Bakumatsu period. What does that mean for my father to be here? We cannot say for certain. It could all be a coincidence, or it could spell worse. Oh no, surely it's a coincidence. Saito looked at me, but didn't respond. The possibility of my father conducting business in Fushimi now pointed to an implicit relationship between him and the Imperialists. But that couldn't be the case. My father explicitly told me he was visiting Kyoto under direct orders from the shogunate. Surely there was a reason for the confusion. What kind of reason would he have being here? Our connection with the Aizu domain means it would be careless, let alone dangerous, for us to enter the Terada Inn without tact. Therefore, I figured it would be good for you to sit here and observe the inn customers for clues. Is that alright? Huh? You want me to watch the inn? Saito wasn't my babysitter, but I appreciate some backup if something went wrong. Does Saito trust me enough for him to take his eyes off me? I didn't want to mess things up. Saito, ever the keen eye, spoke to comfort me. Look, the Imperialists know what I look like. If any of them see me, there's no telling what they'll do to me, or even you. Don't worry, okay? I'm going to be gathering information nearby. If something happens to you, I'll be here for you before you know it. Aww! Saito's cute.
Yeah, he's nice.
Alright, but I'm holding you to that. Okay then, I'll leave you to it. He's a good boy. Saito stood quickly and disappeared into the crowd, leaving me in my seat at the tea shop. I had to play the part, so I gathered my bearings and my new surroundings, and I approached a customer visiting the shop for questions. For a second, I had to remember I was there for a mission, but it felt like I was a spy in a play. I gathered some intel from customers confirming sightings of a bald doctor of Western medicine who frequented the Terada Inn until a few days ago. Fortunately, the leads ran dry for anything during the past 2 or 3 days. Looks like we may have just missed him. I braced myself for the possibility that the lead was false, but even still, it was discouraging to come up with nothing. There was no time to be upset, though. Maybe he would return to the inn after finishing whatever business it was that took him away. Longing for a loved one to return is like waiting for a wound to heal, where the memory of the time before the pain seeps into every moment after. With the approval of the tea shop's owner, I watched the happenings of the Terada Inn from the shop's balcony. Just then, a mysterious visitor approached me.
Waiting for someone?
Huh? He caught me off guard. Had he been watching me? I turned around, nearly clutching my kodachi. This. Who's this new man? New man! Who's this man? Oh, this is that guy! The third guy! The one that I was like, who the frick is this? There he is! I have no idea who this man is. Hello. Oh, so yeah, definitely this scene didn't happen in the original game then. That's why I was like, I have no memory of this. Because this is a whole new scene with a whole new man. He took a seat near me, staring at my hand as if to assure me from harm. Who was this man? He didn't look like anyone I'd ever seen before.
Something the matter? You look dazed. If you're not waiting, are you looking for someone?
Oh, no, I shook my head, unsure if he could be trusted. See, well, I'm looking for my father.
Ah, I see. Father, eh? That sounds like a predicament. Have I heard of him before? If you tell me his name, I might be able to assist you.
Not sure. I contemplated whether or not this man could have known my father, or even the possibility that telling this man anything would jeopardize me. However, any information he had may help. My father visited Kyoto on a business trip, but he suddenly ceased communication with me. Rumors surfaced that someone with his likeness came to this inn, and I had to see for myself.
So, you're from the east then?
Yes, I came from Edo.
Ah, that sounds like quite a journey. I assume you're not familiar with the area either. I should help you out.
This is music in the background. I can't get over it. Well, I also, the fact that it's like these pedals coming in, like, what the heck?
Yeah.
How should I respond?
I don't trust him at all, but it's more fun to say yes.
Yeah, also, I am. If Chizuru is like me, you know, we're both pretty gullible. But I would say, yeah, I would appreciate it if you could help me. Are you sure? I would appreciate some help.
I wouldn't want to trouble you with my presence, but if you let me, I'd love to help you out.
It wouldn't trouble me at all. It would be great for you to help me. Thank you so much.
I am Umetaro Saitani. You can call me Saitani, or Ume, or whatever you'd like.
A person who encounters the protagonist at the Tarada Inn while she searches for her father. Okay, nice to meet you, Saitani. My name is Yukimura. It's very nice to meet you.
Yukimura, You know, some say that you matched you. I'd have to agree.
What the frick? What the frick? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that
Yuki
mean?
means snow, right? But Mura is village? Snow village?
I don't know. You think my name matches my figure?
What's your first name? With such a cute face, you must have a cute name as well. It has to be.
Red flags, red flags,
Yep.
red flags.
Yep.
5,000,000% red flags. Well, cute is kind of a stretch. If I told him my name was Chizuru Yukimura, he might suspect me to be a woman.
Oh well. It's okay for you not to tell me. They do say every woman has her secret.
Yeah, he got it. He got it immediately.
Yeah, instantly.
After he said those words, I gasped and covered my mouth with my hands. But wait a minute, Saitani, I'm not a woman.
Ha! You can't be serious. You are a woman, or do you take me for a fool?
I would never take you for a fool.
Well, I'm sure a cute girl like you has plenty of men bothering her all around town. So I think it's smart of you to dress like a man.
Thanks? The nonchalantness of his response made me practically faint from relief.
Well, why don't you go ahead and tell me your first name?
Kiritsuru, you saw me very out of a woman. I saw no harm in being honest with him about my name. My name is Chizuru Yukimura.
Chizuru, I knew it. I knew it would be a cute name, just as fitting on a cute girl.
You think so?
Enough about that. What kind of men do you like? If you got to go on a date, where would you go?
This man needs to slow down! He needs to slow down! Slow down! Slow
Do you like
down!
cherry blossoms?
You can't
I keep a handful of cherry blossom petals in my pockets.
Saitani, we're not talking about me right now. I thought you were gonna help me look for my father.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot about that.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. This
That
game's
is
gonna
terrible.
kill me. Yeah, he's terrible. I hate him. Saitani's talent appeared to be in engaging seemingly endless conversations. Since he was the first person outside of the Shinsegumi with whom I'd spoken, I completely lost track of time. Luckily, Saito appeared to rescue me.
Just cuts him in half immediately.
Yeah, thank you. I would be like, thank you, Saito. Yukimura, sorry for keeping you. I just returned. Oh, hi, Saito!
Ah, it looks like your friend came back. I should get going now. You don't need my help here.
Saitani stood up from his seat slowly, appearing dejected as if I'd broken his heart. Yeah, goodbye.
Well, later, Chizuru. I hope fate brings us together again.
I hope not. Oh, maybe. Goodbye.
It's like, okay, maybe, yeah, bye.
Before I could
Yeah.
tell him goodbye, Saitani had wandered off. There he goes. The man,
I
the
do
myth,
like
legend.
that, like, they don't do the typical thing of making her swoon over a guy like this automatically. Right?
Yeah, I tell you, the writing in Hakuoki is one of the best. Like there's a reason I always say Hakuoki is like one of my favorite dating sim visual novels of all time. It's just really well written, and Chizuru is like one of the best otome protags. She's
Yeah, I feel like in a lot of otome games it would be like, this handsome man is flirting with you. Immediately it's like, oh.
yeah. Saito focused on him, making sure he was out of earshot, and muttered quietly into my ear. Was that man? He snuck up behind me earlier. Supposedly his name is Saitani. How'd it go, Saito? Were you able to find anything useful about my father? I will brief you on our back to headquarters, but don't get your hopes. Oh, I felt my stomach drop from his words, and I assume it meant the lead was false. I clutched my fist tightly, fighting back angry tears. I couldn't let Saito see my disappointment. Hold on. I'm going to pay for your bill. Okay. Thanks, Saito. You're the best. Saito and I headed back to the base, and I noticed fireflies grouping in circles as he updated me. The bald doctor staying in the Tarada Inn was, in fact, someone different from my father who just happened to match his description.
Aww.
Wah wah. My apologies, I brought you all the way to Fushimi and there was nothing to show for it. It must have seemed like a waste of time. Oh please, don't worry. Even though we learned nothing about my father, I was able to get some fresh air. That's nice. Still, I couldn't
And we got sexually harassed by
Yeah,
strangers.
it was great. Good times. Good times. Still, I couldn't shake the worry from my father. Saito looked to me reassuringly, and his face lit brightly as he remembered something. Oh, by the way, the man you were talking to earlier. Oh, you mean Saitani? He was an odd man. Usually I can read people. His outward demeanor was overly friendly, while his body language seemed guarded. Oh, Interessante. Huh. I guess I didn't notice. It sounds like something I would say.
Dense, yeah.
To me, Saitani didn't seem guarded at all, judging by how open he was with stories. Was something troubling you about him, Saito? He nodded in response, looking away from my face. Tell a swordsman by their expression. I assume him to be some form of Ronin, and if he is from the area, he is likely to be a warrior of the Satsuma domain in the west. A Ronin, He seemed too jovial to be a lordless samurai, especially the ones causing trouble in Kyoto. What it seemed like in our conversation, he was the furthest thing from a warrior. I only tell you this because you shouldn't let your guard down. The city of Kyoto has been unsafe, and I want you to be extra careful. Understood. Wonder who this Saitani man really was. My first adventure into Fushimi taught me many things, and I could only await what came next. That was something. Take a page out of my book. Achievement unlocked. Oh, we finished the chapter, that's why.
Ah.
Oh, snap. That went by fast.
Yeah.
No news of my father came forth the other day, and somber restlessness took hold of me. Originally, Sid Hijikata granted me approval to accompany the captains on their rounds through Kyoto to search for my dad. Then he called me in. Excuse me, it's Tadashimasu. So Kita and Heisuke had been summoned along with me, and I felt a partial sense of relief. It did a little to calm my chattering nerves, and I didn't want to be in a bad spot with Hijikata. Called me? Hijikata seemed to be in a foul mood, so I decided it was best to act with tact in his presence.
I was thinking about the search for Kyoto, but maybe it is best to put a halt on it for now.
What? But why? We just started looking for him. Stopping now would surely cause any of our leads to run dry. His words stunned me. How can he back out on this? Hijikata remained deeply composed.
We have reports of activity from the Chosu, and they do not bode well for us. It would be highly dangerous for you to be out and about.
I'd heard how the warriors of the Chosu domain associate with the Imperial Nationalist Party, a term for those who wanted to see the Emperor as the supreme power of Japan, and also hoped to remove foreign influences from the country, also known as the Sanjo faction. For some reason, they find foreigners repulsive, using brute force to prevent any foreign presence. All of their faith is aligned with the Emperor. Shinsegumi, on the other hand, serve the Shogun, meaning they are directly opposed. If the Chosu is active, it could mean that my own goal is of little concern to the Shinsegumi. I might become something of a burden to them. So, Are you asking me to refrain from joining the rounds until things with the Chozu domain settle? Kind of nod and turn towards the two men. That being said... Oh, wait, no, that's you.
That being said, as of right now, she is not to accompany any rounds with any captains.
Oh, I get it now. That's why you pulled us in here, right? Isuke seemed 2 steps behind Hijikata's words, until this very moment where it seemed to click. You know, she never caused any trouble during any round she joined us in. I kind of feel like it shouldn't be a problem if she tagged along.
Yeah, even if something were to happen. As long as she doesn't get involved, which she'll be fine. I mean, it's not like she can run away from us if things get sticky, right?
I won't run. I knew he was being serious, but I couldn't stand to keep my mouth... I knew he wasn't being serious, but I couldn't stand to keep my mouth shut. I made up my mind the minute the men of the Shinsengumi agreed to help me find my father. I made a vow to never run from the Shinsengumi for as long as they helped me find my father. My desire to find my father showed no signs of slowing, ever since I first arrived in Kyoto. I will keep my vow. So please, please allow me to continue looking for my father. I bowed to Okita, keeping my eyes locked with his. His smirk, however, shrugged slowly as he gazed towards me, caught in between words to say.
If you stay with us, you're putting yourself at risk. If you want at risk, feel free to join us. I mean, we have witness reports that fit the profile and description of Kyoto. You may have a point, but are witness reports enough justification to put her in harm's way? What if you're wrong? What if she's exposed?
Put that page back! Don't ruin books! Azure is exactly right.
Do none of you understand? You're placing an unnecessary burden on yourself.
I promise I won't cause any trouble. Please, if I lose the opportunity to search for my father, then the chances of finding him will sink. I lied prostrate before him, and Hijikata simply sighed heavily.
You'd better follow the orders of every captain you join. No ifs, ands, or buts. Am I clear?
Yes, of course. Thank you so much. I didn't know
Definitely
how else...
no buts.
Yeah, no buts. Except maybe a little bit later. I didn't know how else to show my gratitude, so I bowed deeply again.
I'm leaving it to your discretion over whether or not you're going to join them. That's on you.
Alright. I had to make sure this was the best decision. There was something in his demeanor that made me unsure of my desire to leave the compound. Still, if I was with Okita or Heisuke, I'm sure I'd be safe and well protected. On the other hand, my presence could be an undue burden on them. What should I do?
Yeah, just keep searching her dad. I mean, she really wants to do that, right? So.
Yeah.
Put in a bag for nothing.
Yeah. Okay. Leave and search for my father!
Let's get in some trouble.
Yeah! Huh? It feels like there are more people walking around than usual. The streets of Kyoto were packed with people, shuffling into the shops and businesses all over.
Geez, remind yourself. Try not to wander off or something. Remember that you're here to keep me company on rounds.
Sorry, I was distracted by all the people. The city is filled with so much more cheer. I guess I just couldn't help myself. Kita's eyes twinkled and he smiled voraciously. I could sense him relax.
Well, the Gions festival coming up. Things are more lively than usual, I'll give you that.
One of the red light districts in Kyoto.
Uh-oh. Of course, some of the nationalists wrote in are acting pretty suspicious too. What I'm saying is, watch yourself, alright?
Term for the philosophical and political leanings of those who wanted to remove foreign influences from Japan. Okay. I'll try. Walked down Kyoto's largest street, alongside the 1st Division. No one came within a few yards of us. They stepped away the moment their eyes caught the bright blue of the Shinsegumi's jackets. I noticed this phenomenon briefly when I first joined the Shinsegumi on their rounds, but it was clear that people of Kyoto feared them. I pause every so often to ask some of the less intimidated passerby if they'd seen my father. I'm looking for someone. He's in his 40s and speaks with an Edo accent. He's a doctor and he's a friendly, bald man. After a few hours of searching, I met someone who claimed to see a man matching my description. Oh yeah, I think I might have seen that guy a while back over at Masu's. As he spoke, he pointed towards a store selling wooden charcoal. Thank you so much! Okita caught my eye and gave me a stern look. He looked as if he was going to reprimand me when...
You there! Are you Rodin? Give me the name of your lord, if indeed you even serve one.
The cry came from a Shinsegumi soldier, and Okita turned, his lips tightening into a thin line.
Well, shit. I guess they would choose the worst possible time to stir up trouble, huh?
His hand dropped to his sword as he ran toward the commotion. The townsfolk shrieked and ran like leaves before a gale. Whoa! In the sudden press of fleeing citizens, I found myself pulled away from Okita. For a moment, I panicked, but realized that perhaps it was best. If I stayed close, he would have been forced to keep attention on me. I hoped to avoid distracting him. I hid in an alley to watch, and I could return to the First Division once the tension simmered. Hey, kid! Oh, yeah, you can go.
Come over here. I've got candy to sell you. You don't want to get yourself caught up in that.
Huh? I paused for a moment. A strange man was inviting me into his store. Not strange on the face of it, perhaps, but I was warned many times to be on my guard. I was about to politely refuse when I realized it was the store to which the man pointed earlier. Excuse me, but is this Masu's?
Yes, it is.
Great, you see, I'm looking for someone and... Mr. Kielmon, I saw that kid with Okita, the Shinsegumi captain.
What?
Huh? I'm not at the Shinsegumi.
Shinsengumi? Run for it!
No, it's not like that. I'm just looking for someone. Even if I had been walking with them, the reaction to the store's customers seemed excessive.
You really have the worst luck, don't you? Still, I guess you could say the same about them. Or me.
He gave a small, unconcerned shrug and leapt through the door of the shop. Masu's exploded with the clang of blades, men swearing and scrambling across furniture. What is the meaning of this? What on earth just happened?
They're enemies of the Shinsengumi, I think.
Yeah, that's probably exactly what happened. Was that they were actually, like, disguised as a different shop, and, like, she accidentally stumbled on it.
Yeah.
When we returned to Shinsegumi headquarters, Sanan had a number of less than pleasant words. We kneeled for some time as the colonel berated us before Okita finally spoke up.
You don't need to lift your head over it, Sanan. After all, we arrested a couple of Choso people.
When the fight was over, we discovered a massive arms cache and confiscated the entire thing. No one bothered to explain to me what was happening, however, and I was utterly lost.
Oh, this guy's back.
Yep.
It's not something to lose my head over. My head is right where it belongs, Okita. Perhaps I should inquire after yours. A man claiming to be Kimon Masu was in truth Shuntaro Furutaka, a Chosu spy.
A merchant who sells firewood and charcoal. It was actually a cover identity for Shuntaro Furutaka while operating Kyoto. Wow, thanks. Thanks for this tidbit.
It's what literally just said.
Yeah, we just got this.
You are aware that the Shinsengumi was allowing him to operate in hopes of gathering enemy intel? Yes, I was, but we didn't have a choice this time. I had to bring him in.
Well, it's not like it was a total bust. Like Soji said, they did arrest some guys. Don't you feel bad for Shimada and Yamazaki? They were staking out to keep an eye on Furutaka. The corner of Heisuke's mouth twitched into a smile, but Shimada interrupted him to continue.
Oh, new people.
Yeah, Shimada, it's the guy on the right.
Alright, I'll take him. He looks like the big man.
Yeah.
We appreciate your concern, Toto, but nobody needs to lose any sleep on your account. On our account. We are getting nowhere with Masus in the last few days anyway. Okita did us a favor.
Yamazaki nodded in silent agreement. Kurotaka's arrest is over and done. Won't hear any complaints from us about it.
Man, you two are the definition of stoic and reasonable. Soji, on the other hand.
It didn't seem Nagakura was going to let Okita get away without rubbing his mistake in his face. Both Kai Shimada and Suzumu Yamazaki serve as Shinsegumi officers and spies under Hijikata. Kai Shimada, an officer in the Shinsegumi who also served as a spy. During times of peace, he served under Shinpachi in the 2nd Division. Right, go to the next thing. I feel like I asked this last. Oh, there we go. A member of the Watch who reports to Hijikata. He was an officer of the Shinsegumi as well as a spy. And he's another love interest now.
Yeah.
Aside from the captains who stay in the Yagi residence, they are some of the few people entrusted with the knowledge of my situation. In other words, these men are highly valued officers within the organization. Despite their resounding support, I felt a rush of guilt sweep over me and I spoke up. I'm so sorry. It's all my fault. Some Ronin were causing trouble, so I tried to get out of the way. I got separated from Okita in the crowd and I didn't go right back to him. Before I really realized what was going on, someone just started shouting at me.
But who was tasked with looking after you?
He glared at me, his eyes hard and angry, and my throat tightly clenched into dryness.
The captain of our 1st Division can't even track a charge. Is this the best the Shinsengumi can do?
When I'd first met him, Sanan had been nice, if a little quiet. After his injury, however, it was as if he'd become an entirely different man.
I told her she could go. They were only following orders.
Sanan looked up as Hijikata walked into the room. He gave the commander a tight wry smile, but got only a peaceful, impartial glance in return. If you're here, that means you're done interrogating Furutaka, right?
They're going to wait for a day when the wind picks up. Then set Kyoto on fire and kidnap the Emperor while everyone else is losing their shit. So they say, at least.
His voice was calm and measured, but we all felt the import of his words.
Burn down the city? Those Chosu guys are crazier than I thought.
So they just want to kidnap the Emperor? Seems a little contradictory for a bunch of guys who call themselves imperialists. Term for the philosophical and political leanings of those who want to remove the shogun as the administrative power for Japan, replaced by the Emperor. Whatever the reasons, we cannot ignore them.
They're probably meeting tonight. We need to get ready to move out.
Understood, Commander.
Ha! Finally! I'm getting chills.
Even though each man displayed his professionalism differently, they were all clearly prepared. As they quieted down, Hijikata turned toward me as if he had only just noticed my presence.
We did get some information on Kyoto. Apparently, he visited Masus with some men from the west.
What?
So the rumors that he was seen in Kyoto were true, but that's all there is to it.
Father with someone from the west? But my father went missing in Kyoto. How could he be with someone from the west? No one had an answer for me.
Oh.
Yeah, his warrior record is here. What does that mean? Hold up. Oh yeah, it means here. It means we finally have him here. So now we have 2. But we still don't have the other men. They're still hidden from us.
Where are you hiding these men?
Yeah, where are you hiding all these men? Everyone still looks the same. We suck at getting the boys. Now we're still really early in the game.
Yeah.
Wait, why am I saving? There's no reason to save. Preparations for the raid began immediately. Within moments, the compound was like a beehive, with soldiers and officers running back and forth. Tension felt thick enough to cut with a knife. I found it affecting me despite my best efforts. My encounter at Matsu's created some of their current headache, and I'd hoped to make up for it. Hey, can I? Oh, it became clear to me that I had very little to offer when it came for preparing for a raid. At the end of the day, all I could do was stay quietly to the side to avoid being a burden. Just then I heard someone's voice out of the blue. Don't have enough men. Kondo has only 10 soldiers ready to fight. Hijikata and I have 24 apiece, right? Everyone's sick. Not so funny, eh, Saito? Ah, that's right. There were a handful of men who were bedridden from a swift food poisoning epidemic, leaving them short-handed in battle. They plan on dividing the troops in half. Kando's troop will go to Akita Inn. Hijikata's troop will head to Shikoku Inn. Akita Inn, one of the several locations where the national group aiming to support the Emperor would gather. One of the several locations where the national imperials gathered. Thanks, guys. So you think we'll bring him along on this one? It's a night mission. It'll be perfect. Lost a couple the other day, but there should still be a few left, right? I heard they won't be seeing combat for a while. They're having difficulty adjusting. Stop listening to orders as soon as they see blood. It's rather inconvenient. What? I heard something before about a reaction to blood, but this was something I was not supposed to hear. The two men hadn't realized that I was listening to their conversation, but it was crucial that I don't say anything. They've gotta be spinning in their graves. Didn't they choose to do this so they could fight? Oh no, you only say that after someone's actually dead. Yeah, I guess you're right. They aren't really dead, are they? In fact, they're even harder to kill now. There's no doubt that what I was hearing was not meant for my ears.
They have a zombie army.
Yeah, I shoved my fingers into my ears and closed my eyes tightly. The best I could do was make sure I didn't hear anything else. I don't know who's talking. Oh, Kondo! Oh, you're here, Yukimura. My eyes flew open to see Kondo in front of me. I couldn't just sit there. I told him the truth, how I felt so useless, and left my room to find some way to help. Ah, of course, I see. I know how you feel. The men are pretty excited, aren't they? Yes. Excited, more like bloodthirsty, to be honest. Would you care to join us? What? That was not what I expected him to say. You mean go on the raid with you? I don't know what I could... You see, many of my men are out with food poisoning, so we're short understaffed. Well, we could certainly use a messenger, but if you'd rather not, there's no need to feel obligated. You raise a good point. Now that he mentioned it, I do remember hearing that Kondo's troop only had 10 people in it. Well, alright, if I'll just be the messenger. Face split into a grin, and I found myself on the way to the Akita Inn to accompany their raid. Kondo's presence was relieving, and his good nature gave me comfort in asking him a question. Kondo? Your uniform is different than the one your other men wear. Shinsegumi's unique light blue uniform made it so anyone in Kyoto would recognize them. However, Kondo's uniform was white, almost cream, setting him apart from his men. Oh, this? This white uniform is for charging into dark areas, allowing us to see each other more clearly. I see, I didn't know the corpse uniform came in so many varieties. White colored uniform used during the night or special occasions.
Interesting.
The usual uniform was well-fitting and the color stood out, but this white uniform was more elegant. I smiled while looking at his uniform, and I braced myself for what was to come. Time to go for a battle!
Hell yeah.
After
Try the combat system in this game.
Yeah.
Turn-based, correct?
I wish there was there's some
do some combos.
There's some dating sims that have not full-on visual novel dating sims that have some combat in it. Like there of course are the RPGs that have combat, but there's also some other ones, and they're all terrible. It really doesn't work to fight using a text-based system. It really doesn't work very well. Because, for example, a really good otome visual novel that a lot of people talk about is Collar X Malice. And in that game, you're a police officer. And so you have a gun, and there's certain points in the story where you can use your gun, and it like opens up a mini game where you gotta hit the thing at the right spot to shoot the shot or whatever, and it's terrible. It sucks. I returned to hear Nagakura talking to Okita.
Well, looks like we hit a jackpot on this one. Not sure if they're brave or stupid or meeting right next to a government building.
If this follows most video game logic, they're hiding all those men in their back pocket. I can't believe it.
Got a guy pocket.
Heck yeah.
I knew they'd be here. After all, they've always met at Ikeda before. Sure, but the night Furutaka gets arrested? That just seems sloppy to me. Or it's a trap.
Yeah.
Aren't they afraid of looking suspicious? Well, obviously that's somewhat less than normal. They are meeting at the Ikeda Inn, aren't they?
Nagakura and Okita's conversation was very lighthearted, which didn't quite suit the subject matter. Perhaps the Chosu were trying to trick the Shinsegumi. I certainly wouldn't have known. Whatever the reason for their behavior, however, neither Nagakura nor Okita seemed worried. Heisuke noticed me as I approached and jogged over. So how'd it go, Chizuru? Did you see anyone from Aizu or the Judiciary Commissioner? One of Japan's more influential clans. They were related by blood to the Tokugawa clan and were put in charge of the office of the Kyoto Military Commissioner. A shogunate administrator whose role was to oversee the daimyo, settle law disputes, and supervise the city. The position was occupied by Sadaki Matsudaira during this time period. To be honest, I didn't really see anyone nearby. So they still haven't made their move. We told them even before it started to get dark.
Settle down, Heisuke.
Larger man smacked Heisuke playfully on the shoulder with a bark of laughter.
Rolf. Besides, it won't do us any good if they show up. If this is gonna happen, we've gotta do it ourselves.
Yeah, I guess it's just, don't you think running in on our own is a little reckless? Heisuke frowned, and Takeda, who was on standby behind Heisuke, nodded in agreement.
Oh, this guy.
Yo, this guy.
Yeah. And charging in with this amount of men is reckless. We should wait for Aizu Domain's reinforcements.
Like, I'm pretty sure, like, he looks like he's a love interest, but he's not. I don't think he's any of, he's not any of these guys. So
hidden love interest.
Maybe secret route, let's go. But I wouldn't want to date him. I hate this man.
Just wait.
No, absolutely not. This is one of those times I can state with absolute facts, I hate this man. If you say so, Takeda. Alright, why don't we wait a little longer? But no matter how long we waited, the officials never came.
It's like their night uniforms are the inverse of their normal colors. It's like a soccer team playing an away game or something.
Yeah! Let's go! Oh my gosh! Hakuoki Soccer AU, where they're a soccer team, and Chizuru is the manager. And like Kondo is like the captain. Yeah, and everybody is like part of the team. That would be awesome. Sports anime. Let's go.
Sanan gets like a career-ending injury at some point, and his personality changes.
Yeah, that he's the guy who gets the injury. It's so true. And like
Perfect.
Yeah. And everyone would act like it's, and even if he like is able to be healed after high school, they act like it's the end of the world because he won't be able to play anymore in high school because high school is the most important part.
He'll never make it to nationals.
Yeah, he'll never make it over there. Because obviously, once you graduate from high school, you're straight up dead. Like, that's it. You passed away.
You're erased from reality. No, you get
Yeah.
1 more year to like come back and cheer on your underclassmen. But then,
Yeah, and then you're gone. Like, it's just so funny to me every time in
turn
sports
to
anime
dust.
when, like, the people will be like, I bet my senpai are watching over me. And I'm like, dude, they're not dead!
Are they dead? Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Your senpai is going to college. He's getting an education.
This is way too busy.
he's busy. He's not watching over you. He's not freaking in the heavens now because he graduated from high school.
Playing on a college team.
Yeah, he has other things to do now, buddy. Oh my gosh.
Still busy drinking beer and dating girls.
Yeah. I looked up at the sky. The moon itched itself further across the sky since we arrived at the...
Damn it, it's getting pretty late. What do you want to do, Kondo? It'd be pretty lame if we just sat here all night.
The chief had been quiet all this time, but when Okita addressed him, he finally stood up to speak. Can't wait a moment long. Soji, Nagakura, Toto, you lot follow me. He nodded quietly but firmly.
Well, I will secure the front entrance so you guys have at it.
I don't trust this man, especially since he's not a love interest. I'm beating him up.
Yeah.
As Azure said, I'm about to throw hands. What? Are you not going to come, Takeda?
It's all good. I mean, we don't want him in the dark and then mistakenly stabbing us, you know? Oh, actually, we might mistakenly stab him.
I love Okita so much. I love him. I love you.
Okita, what are you suggesting?
What do you think he's suggesting, buddy?
That he wants to stab you from behind in the dark.
Yeah.
Now, if you want someone charging, we want someone reliable anyways. So with that said, take care of the outside, Takeda. Preposterous.
Preposterous.
Inconceivable.
Yukimura, can you stay away from the Ikeda Inn? Things are going to get dangerous. That place is full of rebel soldiers. We don't intend to allow them to escape, but better safe than sorry. Alright. Stood up, smiled curtly, and ran into the inn. We are the Shinsengumi, retainers of the Lieutenant General of the Aizu Domain. By imperial decree, you are all under arrest. The position held by the Lord of the Aizu Domain, Kanamori Matsudara, was appointed to it by the Shogun after earning the rank of Lieutenant General of the Left Guard. His declaration was met with a cacophony of yells and screams erupting from out of the inn.
Giving the enemy a good loud warning that he's about to kick the tar out of them. That's Kondo for you. Seems like good form anyway. It's polite to let them know what they're up against.
Oh, so your definition of good form is putting us at a disadvantage? Heisuke and Nagakura grinned at one another as they sauntered towards the inn. We act with the authority of the government. Resist and you will be shown no mercy. Then the battle began in earnest. The yells of men and the clang of swords filled the air, rolling out through the doors and windows of the inn. I heard feet pound upstairs and the screams of men dying, the wet thud of bodies dropping to the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Damn it, there's too many of them. We need to back up. Is anyone still out there?
Well, there was someone,
I'm here.
but all the men who'd come with the captives ran around the back and couldn't hear Nagakura. Takeda, on the other hand, was stationed outside to arrest anyone trying to flee the building. What should I do? The only person left to go help them was me. But even if I did, what could I do? That was when I heard Kondo. Soji, are you alright? Nagakura called out from somewhere else in the inn.
Damn it, Heisuke, don't die on me.
Oh no! I had no desire to enter a slaughterhouse with men killing one another. Even if I did, I had no illusions about my skill with a blade. I was sure to be killed before I had even drawn it. I could hardly stand around doing nothing.
Before you go in.
Yeah. Yeah, Perhaps if I couldn't fight, I could rescue the wounded, find them, and carry them out of the inn. I made up my mind, sealed myself, and ran inside. Inside it was pitch black. The smell of blood hit me in the stomach like a fist, filling the air. There was dark lumps on the floor everywhere, the bodies of fallen men. Where were Okita and Heisuke? It sounded like a good idea at the time, but as I looked around the Charnel house, I realized there was no way I could carry 2 men outside. Okay.
Oh no.
What do we do?
Okita, definitely.
Heck yeah.
Easy choice.
Easy choice. Poor Heisuke. Double saving. So yeah, look for Okita. I decided I had to look for Okita. I knew I'd cause trouble for him during the noon patrols, but he never called me out on it. It seemed only fair that I try to return the favor. Who's Shiro? Who's this?
I have no clue.
Who was that? Is that a person that we haven't met yet, but could have met or something? No, it's not.
No clue?
I have no idea who this Shiro person
Who
is.
are these people?
Who are these people? I went... A Ronin came out of nowhere, falling down the stairs and screaming. My Kodachi was in my hand before I'd even realized I'd drawn it. Then
We are now murderer.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, it was Kondo. Then Kondo's sword slid through his heart. I just watched a man die. You? Omaida? What are you...
Oh my!
What are the rest of our men doing? He did his best to ask calmly, but I could tell my appearance had both surprised and worried him. Sorry, but can you see to Soji? He's upstairs with one of these damnable Ronin. I doubt he would lose, but he could still be hurt. His opponent looks to be a difficult one. Yes, sir! I nodded quickly and ran off through the carnage. Up we go! He's upstairs! Running! I took them 2 at a time and landed hard on the top floor. It didn't take long to spot him. Oh, there's the other love interest there, Kazuma. Oh! Only a few feet from me, Okita was battling a Ronin. I felt my stomach lurch. The cold ring of steel against steel tore through the air and their blades flashed, lines of light in the darkness.
You know, you have me wondering how the Shinsenkumi were doing. This is the best you can do.
The strange Ronin's eyes narrowed and his mouth curved into a smug smile. I'd seen Okita trained with the soldiers, and his skill with a blade had been clear, but this Ronin, the way he dodged, parried, and slowly drove Okita back seemed almost effortless.
Oh, just the same guy?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's the same guy.
Well, I don't care to waste any more time on you. I'm taking off. Thanks for the dance, chump.
The blood and violence that was choking the inn had no effect on him, it seemed. He was so peaceful, in fact, that he hardly looked like he belonged in the middle of all that carnage.
Sorry, pal, but I can't do that. You're our enemy, so you've gotta die.
The smile split his face for half a second, and then he launched himself at the Ronin. Their swords slammed together. To my untrained eye, it looked as though the Ronin was a self-taught swordsman. The sword moved in large, crude arcs, while Okita responded with skill and finesse. In a contest of skill, Okita would have been the clear winner, but... As their blades sprang apart, it was always Okita who found himself pushed back. Ronin's sword was heavy but fast. It was clear he was Okita's superior in raw power. The summer heat had turned the air thick and humid. I could barely breathe. Sweat poured down my spine and beat it on my face as quickly as I could wipe it off. Okay, that was
Ooh. Maybe look around first.
I mean, that might take too much time, though. If we looked around first before we did something. I say we should just distract them.
Yeah, I'm worried we'll, like, end up distracting Okita instead.
Yeah, I mean, we saved. We saved.
Alright.
Believing in the dream. Ah! Nearby, a bowl sat unattended on the floor. If I could use that to distract the Roman briefly, it could give Okita the opening he needed. See, like, I'm guessing the other one would have been like, we hesitated too long or something. Yeah. With every ounce of strength I had, I hurled the bowl straight at the Ronin.
Oh?
Oh?
Nani?
Nani? Almost without thinking, he turned his blade and smashed the bowl to the floor. The moment of distraction gave Okita his opening. Leapt forward. Even caught off guard, the Roman managed to get his blade up in time, but the blow sent him stumbling back a step or two, an angry look on his face. Okita lifted his sword towards his opponent. He whispered in a voice so only I could hear it. Oh, we did it!
Right. Good job, Chizuru.
I knew now wasn't the time to bring it up, but I'm glad I've been able to help.
Pathetic.
The straight Ronin's sword whipped through the air, little more than a silvery blur.
Tch.
Okita accepted the blow with the sword. However, the opponent's blow from above was too powerful. Okita stumbled ever so slightly, but the man did not miss his opportunity.
Duh.
The Ronin's foot slammed the center of Okita's chest. The source of his tremendous strength apparently extended to his legs as well as his sword arm. I heard a wet crunch as the kick connected, and Okita tumbled across the floor of the room. When he stopped, I saw him grip his chest and cough. Okita! I leapt across the room. Are you alright? His face was tight with pain. The most he could manage was labored gasps and wet, tearing coughs. Okita was in no condition to fight. As I struggled to move myself under his arm to lift him up, I glared at the strange Ronin.
I don't suppose you mean to kill me as well? Let's have at it. I like watching children squirm.
I watched the tip of his blade drift up to me. With a groan of pain, Okita lifted himself up and stumbled between me and the Ronin. No! Okita! You can't! There was a good chance he had broken bones, and if he was coughing up blood, then his internal organs could be damaged as well. He could barely stand, let alone fight, and he was making no attempts at hiding it, but he stood firm.
You're fighting me, right? Leave the kid alone.
The Ronin sneered.
What a fool. Just what do you intend to do? You're as good as dead. You can scarcely stand. Shut up. I've still got some fight left, you bastard.
Flecks of blood appeared as he shouted. Stop that! You're still coughing up blood! Ronin regarded us with cool, disinterest eyes for a few moments, then in one smooth motion, lifted his sword and slid into his scabbard. What?
The moment their meeting was interrupted, my business here was at an end. That was entertaining, Shinsengumi. However, your swordsmanship was a pathetic display.
Aloofness was amplified by the satisfaction he drew with his every word. He placed his foot out of the window, cackling to himself as he drubbed through gracefully. Did he just run? No, he hadn't run. He was letting us go.
Damn it. I can still fight.
Okita, his voice was weak. Why did you do that? Okita turned his head to look at me. You always said you'd kill me if I got in your way. Why had he protected me? He raised a shaky eyebrow.
Yeah, why did I do that?
Oh my gosh. His words were already slurring.
I'll figure it out later. I really gotta kill that. Ugh.
Oh no, Okita! His eyes fluttered, and his body folded as he collapsed onto the floor. Huh? Been so worried about Okita I hadn't noticed. The sounds of screaming man and clattering swords had disappeared. Is it over? Soji, are you alright? The moment the words were out of my mouth, I heard the sound of labored footsteps on the stairs. Finally, the sun rose from the black sky. The ray itself had lasted only 2 hours, but for me at least, it had felt far longer. There had been 20 Imperial nationalists at the Akita Inn. Shinsegumi had killed 7 Ronin and injured 4 more. I learned later that with the help of the Aizu domain and the Kyoto Judiciary Commissioner, they arrested 23 people. The owner of the Akita Inn had also been arrested for trying to help the Chosu rebels escape. The Shinsegumi had won an incredible victory, fighting against superior numbers in enemy territory, but they paid dearly. He had taken a blow to the chest and lost consciousness. Heisuke had been cut on the forehead and the bleeding refused to stop. Nagakura had injured his left hand. One of the Shinsegumi soldiers lost his life at the inn's rear entrance, and 2 others were severely injured there as well. It didn't seem likely that they would survive. The Kyoto military and judiciary commissioners also fought the Chosu Ronin. The person holding this office was tasked with keeping the peace in the city of Kyoto, who was occupied at one point by Katamori Matsudara of the Aizu domain. With their successful resolution of the Battle of Akita Inn, the Shinsegumi had at last made a name for themselves. The incident where Shinsegumi troops raided the Akita Inn, yes, we know, we just saw it.
Yeah.
Looked as though the peace in Kyoto had been protected. Never could I imagine that the ultimate result of their victory would be...
Dum, dum.
Would be...
Seems like
be...
a good, stop now.
Yeah, this
Seems
feels like a good
stopping
stopping point. Yeah, because we just went through a major climactic... End of July. Let's see, can I save here? Yes, we can. Let's check warrior record. Let's see where we're at with everybody. Still the same. I don't understand. Is something supposed to be changing in these things?
I don't know.
Oh wait, no! It says it up top! It says it up top! This one says closed. Now it says budding there. Do you see that? Oh, we figured it out. That one still says closed. So everybody else is still closed, but we have budding with Okita.
Hey.
We've done it. It does change. It just takes a little bit. It takes a lot. Okay. So I think we'll save here and then call it for now.
Good plan.
Eee. Just wanting to make sure, making triple sure that we saved. And then we'll exit. But yeah, we made some good progress. What are you thinking so far, Rolf?
Yeah, it's fun.
Heck yeah. I love how detailed the story, like the writing is so good, and like it goes really into detail about like the history of like what was going on at that time, like in real life.
Yeah.
And it's like you can tell that the people who wrote it really did like their research, everything. Like so well done. I love it. But yeah, thanks for hanging out again, Rolf. Sorry for the back and forth with like about whether I could do this today and also the time
no problem.
zone stuff.
Yeah, it's okay.
Thanks for joining as usual. I love you very much. Good luck with everything.
Yeah.
Get some rest.
Will do. See ya later.
See you later. Bye bye, Rolf.
Bye.
So, let's see if anyone is live. And heck yeah, Azure. I'm probably gonna go eat right after this. Let's see who we shall raid. Who is live? Oh, it is live. Oh, Lee. Lee is live. Oh my gosh, I haven't raided Lee in 5 million years. I'm gonna raid him. Time to raid him. Okay, so /raid just the bell Mont. There we go. Yeah, thank you guys all so much for watching. My next stream, of course, is on Saturday. More Stardew Valley. We're getting really close to the end. And then once that's over, I don't know what we'll do next, but we'll do something next. Probably something to bring back Angel into the mix. Since Angel hasn't really been able to join us for a while because Stardew shenanigans. Yeah. But we're getting there. We're already in fall. Means we just have fall and then we'll be done with Stardew. I mean, not 100% it, but basically we'll get the closest ending you can possibly get without 100%. So that'll be done. And then, yeah, then we'll figure out what we're doing after that. Of course, we'll continue playing this game. And I might stream video games at some point too. Who knows, maybe in Discord. We'll see. Anyways, thank you guys all for watching. I love you all. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.